CNN, CNN. Remember Operation Desert Storm? Remember Operation Desert Storm? Remember Operation Desert Storm? Storm, CNN, 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 CNN.
And we back.
Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Northside Plugged. Thank you all for tuning in as always. We appreciate you. We're coming live from Q4. You already know what it is. Appreciate you all for tuning in. It is Thursday, September 9th. The official start of the NFL season begins.
Woo!
It is the year 2021, and Tom Brady is still throwing touchdown passes. So let that settle in for all you who still want to doubt him after all these years later. The man is still throwing touchdowns. Threw the first touchdown of this season at the ripe age of 44, 43 years old, whatever it is. It still blows my mind that he's throwing touchdowns. But we'll get more into that.
What city we in?
Shy City.
We are in Chicago. We are on the west. We're in the west. We're in Ukrainian Village.
Season starts Sunday night.
Season starts Sunday night. That's true. We got our guests in the building. We got Doc the Mindbenda. Thank you for reminding me that we are in Shy City. The Bears season does start on Sunday night against the Rams, so that'll be a good one. And we have IAMGAWD. What's up, fellas? How we doing today?
What I am with it.
Good, man. Good.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Appreciate y'all coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
It's been long awaited to have Doc in this mug, man.
Yeah.
It's probably a couple years in the making. So
The Mindbenda.
The Mindbenda.
Yes,
Glad to be here with you, G.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, we got a lot to break down, a lot to discuss before we get into it. Make sure if you're not already tuning into the YouTube stream or listening to us on the Q4 Radio AM 1680, you can listen to us. Can you move the thing real quick, bro? My bad. I forgot.
It's right here.
No, I know. 312-985-7834 is the caller line.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can listen to us at www.q4.com, TuneIn app, and the iTunes radio. Thank you, Boss Dan, for the assistance.
And AM 1680 if you're old school like that and still got one of those radios. We appreciate you all who still got those dials. Don't touch that dial. We can still say that because some people still have radios.
Some people do.
Original podcast, AM radio right there.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
We're lucky to kind of hit all aspects of it. We're on the radio, we're on YouTube, so we can stream to different generations. So shout out to y'all older folks listening to Northside Plugged. So yeah, man, we got a lot going on. We got a lot of music to break down, but I think, man, the NFL season is right underway, and we got Tom Brady's #1 fan right here. Got Dr. Mindbenda, always talking football, always talking sports, man, when we're in the studio. So let's get into it, man.
I'm not Tom Brady's #1 fan. I'm going to tell you that straight up. I told you right before we started. Right as the game started, I had about half a dozen of my friends already taking pictures of Tom on television. Because there's nothing that guys my age, love more than Tom Brady from New England. Like, there's nothing else in the world that they adore more.
It's
like
Tom Brady and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Tom Brady, Mark Wahlberg, and David Ortiz. Like, that's all we need. David Ortiz, I'll stand for it, and that's my guy. Like, don't get me wrong. I would die for David Ortiz. Big Papi, that's my guy.
Paul Pierce just never makes the cut, huh? He's always on the outside looking in.
That man's had a crazy post-retirement career. He actually just did an interview with, I think it was Sports Illustrated. I wanted to read that because apparently there were some things where he was like, yeah, I didn't mind what happened in the video. And, like, he's like, I don't really care because, like, it
was quarantine.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. He was just having a good time. He's divorced. He was just having a nice Saturday evening, whatever day it was. Just having a nice night.
A couple of lovely young ladies.
Yeah.
Co-hosts.
Right.
Yeah, right. A couple of friends coming to hang out with him. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing with a man just trying to enjoy himself.
Come on, ESPN.
Yeah. Be cool, ESPN. Be cool one time.
My soul.
Yeah, be cool one time, ESPN. Come on. Don't be a narc. But, yeah.
They had the opportunity, man. They could have been on TNT's level. They just let it slide because people would have rocked with it. But,
Facts.
but they're like, nah.
Could have turned it into something funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, made it a positive. I mean, with a negative, so ain't no making it a positive, but made it something fun. Like, like it was no nudity or nothing. Like,
the problem is, man, ESPN is under Disney.
Yep.
So Disney go home.
Yep. All under the mouse.
The mouse
there goes Deadpool.
It's all under the mouse.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what they do with Deadpool.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
that's a good point.
PG-13, Deadpool.
No, it's gonna be rated R. They said.
Yeah,
It better be, man.
It better be rated R. That's a
Facts,
great
it better
point.
Would that be the first R-rated Disney movie?
I think so.
Yeah, I can't think of any others.
Because
yeah.
if my memory is right, I think it was a big deal when I think Pirates of the Caribbean was the first like PG-13 Disney movie. So that would be a big step with Deadpool.
Facts.
A big step.
I hope they don't stray too far from what Fox was already doing. That's the one thing I feel like Fox got right. Was Deadpool.
That's what would be interesting in general, I think, with Marvel and what was it, Fantastic Four too. Basically, a lot of these Phase 4 people that are coming in, it'll be interesting to see if they do or do not. I don't think they'll screw it up, but who knows, man? This will be the third Fantastic Four movie, so who knows?
Yeah, but this is
the one that matters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Third time's a charm.
Now that it's the MCU and they have Disney money now, so hopefully it's.
They just got to make Doctor Doom a viable villain.
Yes.
I'm saying that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very, very excited for that new Deadpool. Very excited for that new Fantastic Four. And the new Spider-Man, like that trailer's still blowing my mind.
Right,
I've watched it a couple times. Like that trailer's just like, whoo, just gets me amped up. And I think they said it was like one of the most viewed trailers within like 24 hours or something like that. Because it had millions of views on Twitter in like an hour, and like their YouTube channel was like going crazy.
Right.
So that one's gonna be everyone's like, it's so highly anticipated. I just hope it doesn't live up to the standards, which it probably won't, because everyone's setting super high expectations for that.
Right.
But I think that even what they're doing and what they've shown us so far, that people are still getting hyped for it.
Let me tell you, man. I just seen Shang-Chi. I was just telling him. I seen it the other day. I didn't know what to expect for Shang-Chi. I knew with Marvel it was going to be dope,
Yeah,
but
I'm waiting to see that.
I was blown away. I highly recommend to go see Shang-Chi.
I'm gonna definitely see it because I'm following the whole MCU thing. I'm curious to see how they introduce mutants. I think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying, exactly how it was,
they
because
still got time.
Yeah, they so far into the MCU, it's kind of like they got to go back, because they can't just say, well, the Hulk snap awakened this dormant gene. Like, nah, they gonna have to play with it, and I wonder if that's gonna be something that they explore in the Eternals.
Yeah.
I was never really a fan or really knew about the Eternals or Shang-Chi, so I'm interested in seeing those two movies in particular, just to catch up on it, you know what I'm saying, and see what's really to it. So
That's how it was with Guardians too, though, and that surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you guys comic book guys at all?
Nah,
No.
I was the cartoon Saturday morning dude.
Ah,
so that's
okay, yeah.
That's my version of the characters. You know
Okay,
what I'm
right.
saying? Saturday
Yeah.
morning cartoons, like, no, not really into comic books back
Yeah, I was
then.
like,
I was too busy trying to draw. I was too busy trying to draw them, so I couldn't read them.
Okay, fair enough.
I was like early '90s era of comics. Not too. It was like for a short period of time, not where like I collected it like super. But
Yeah, I was never really a comics guy either, but like watching these films makes me want to read the comics a little bit. It makes me want to like go to the comic book store and like pick up some and like read backstories, because of course, like most of the movies are based off comics, and they stray like here and there for like cinematic purposes. But it does make me want to like see some origins and see like what Stan Lee had when he created these characters and like things like that. So it does make me curious enough to kind of want to eventually go back and read the comics.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's just astounding how big of a thing this has become, and with the MCU. I was just thinking about it just in terms of how movies have been progressing, and I feel like the past decade has just really been like a lot of remakes and everything, like the new generation hasn't been able to keep up to par, I guess, with new original ideas.
what's up with the Matrix though? You see the new Matrix?
I haven't seen that at the preview. No, but
I just seen it a little bit ago.
What'd you think?
And it's not too much. They didn't show too much, but it's just more of like it just looks like John Wick.
I'm about to say, you look like
in the
John
Matrix.
Wick. You got the long hair.
Keanu's back and everything.
Yeah,
okay,
of course.
Okay.
A lot of the people are back. I think they showed Trinity's back.
And they got the dude that played in the Candyman dude. Is he supposed to be Morpheus? Is Lawrence Fishburne coming back?
I saw something. They said a lot of those people are reincarnated, so they're a younger version of Morpheus, a younger version of the Oracle and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see what it does.
Yeah, that's a good point, G-Money. I definitely agree with you that like there's a lot of lacking of original content nowadays, especially with movies. Because I mean, Disney was, I feel like, for like 6-7 years, and they're still doing it. They're just going back to like, all right, which movie haven't we made a live action of yet? Let's see. We did Lion King. We did Jungle Book.
Beauty and the Beast.
We did Beauty and the Beast.
Aladdin.
We did Aladdin.
Dalmatians.
They brought Cruella back. Like they're just like, what can we make it live action with a A-list cast, and then just make millions more dollars off of it.
And that Jungle Book was crazy though.
Yeah, that Jungle Book was good. That was probably one of my
effects.
favorites.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was probably one of my favorites of their live action remakes for sure. And even like the Matrix is just a continuation of that. And I'm not saying people will love it, and that's why they do it, because they know people will come to watch it because of the nostalgia that they have for the originals. But there is still a place for these original movies that come out, and I just really appreciate those original movies that find their way to the top, even in this era of remakes and regurgitating like older products. Because even like the new Dune movie that I'm super excited for, like it's a book, and it was a movie made in the 80s. So like there is some hype for it, but again, it's just like, okay, like not a totally original idea. There probably will be some differences, but I
ain't been too excited for nothing outside of Marvel movies.
Right.
Facts. It's on my soul. Me too. Like you said, man, like Hollywood is one big recycle bin right now. They reach back and they do prequels. Like prequels are a big thing. Like they try to continue old stories. Like I'm waiting to see the new creators. You know what I'm saying? Create these new characters and these new stories and these new trilogies or whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a remake, and that's cool if you're gonna do it right. But more times than not, it's like leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna do it right, don't touch it at all. You know what I'm saying? So who knows?
I see Dallas scored.
Oh,
Well, what's going? Yeah, let's
Seven.
tap into the game a little bit.
Dak to CD Lamb for a touchdown. It looks like. So we got a 7-7 game. Cowboys and Bucks is playing tonight for Thursday Night Football. For those of you who aren't football fans,
I mean, I got Elliott on my fantasy
you
team.
got
That's
Zeke.
the only reason
I too have Zeke on my football team, so I was hoping that he would get the touchdown. I was upset when I flipped the page and I saw it wasn't him. But yeah, we can talk a little football about it. But that was a great movie discussion. I appreciate that. That was great.
That took a
That's the beauty of Northside Plugged. We got the open space to talk about, do whatever.
Talk about
we
anything
want.
and everything. That's what we do best here.
Hot route.
Yeah, exactly. A quick audible into the other things. But yeah, with football season starting tonight, Bears play primetime on Sunday night. My Patriots play at 3:30 on Sunday with Mac Jones starting. I think I talked a little about it last week, but
that was a bold move.
Yeah, what do you as a non-Patriots fan? I'm curious as to what your opinion is on.
You might
Mac
as well
Jones.
start fresh. I think he might have a little bit more control. I'm talking about Belichick as far as being able to control a younger person. As far as like you can't tell Cam, who's already been established for so long.
Right.
You know what I mean, act right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
can't tell him before MVP like how you want to run his plays.
What makes him, it doesn't really fit with the Patriot way, I guess.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And from every like expert I've heard talk on like ESPN, NFL Network, Fox, like all these different places, they keep pointing to Mac's decision making and his accuracy as like the two things that pushed him to the starting job, because Cam last year had some like very poor decision making at points, and he wasn't terribly accurate more than like 10 yards down the field, where from what I saw from Mac in the preseason, he looked really quick with deciding where to throw the ball and was getting it to guys on the right spots. And that's what Bill Belichick wants. He doesn't care if you can, like, he hasn't been a huge like running out of the pocket and like trying to ad lib and like create on the fly. He's more of a, how quick can you get the ball out? How quick can you get to your guys' hands? And how quickly can we move down the field to score?
I think that was a shot at Nagy, or that was like a low blow to Nagy.
No, I wasn't. No, I'm not this. I don't think so. I think the thing with Nagy and the Bears, to transition to that quarterback situation, is he brought Dalton in and promised, like, apparently he's like, I promised Andy he could start for me.
I have no problem with him starting Andy Dalton right now. We have no offensive line. We have no real offensive weapons to help Fields. I don't want to kill him, like just blow his spirits week one against Aaron Donald, and then who else we got after that? I think we got Cleveland after that too. So we got two top 10 defenses. Not yet.
Yeah, and I think the offensive line is definitely where I think both teams kind of make this, because the Patriots' offensive line is supposed to be one of the tops, and they're bringing guys back that they missed last year. The Bears' offensive line just hasn't been in a good spot the past couple of years, and to bring in a guy like that who doesn't have the protection, it can lead to ruin his spirit, which could like lead to a digression in his progress in his growth as a quarterback.
Yeah, just his confidence wise.
Yeah, confidence wise especially, and there aren't the weapons that previous guys have had, and they're not the same. Like just other than Allen Robinson, there's not like a ton of great weapons, but I think Justin Fields will start eventually. I think everyone assumes that Justin Fields is going to start eventually.
Yeah, it's like week 7.
Yeah, I think everyone's
maybe,
predicting like
hopefully.
October, like after like 5-6 weeks, they're going to throw him in there finally. Let Dalton get his throws, let him be happy for a little bit, and then you can throw him in there.
He's definitely a placeholder, though. I mean, he knows that.
Yeah, he even said, I think, in one of the things, he's like, Justin will have his time, but mine's right now.
Yeah, like he fumbles the ball, he throws an interception. Like Chicago Twitter is just gonna be Fields.
A thin line right now.
Yeah, I can imagine Chicago sports radio right now. It's just everyone calling in. Hi, first time, long time. I think Justin should start, and I don't know why they're starting Andy Dalton. Like, he hasn't proven himself as a quarterback, and then they'll just keep ranting on about that. So
He's an average quarterback. He's a good placeholder for
the Red Rifle.
The red, right.
He went to 5 straight playoff appearances, but he didn't win a game. So he got that going for him.
That was in Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati, Houday. Shouts out Houday Nation.
He got drafted by Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Out of all the places, the Red Rifle.
The Red Rifle.
Got drafted by the Cincinnati
Cincinnati
Bengals.
It was
Bengals.
the
Super
logo.
old
It
age.
was the logo. right there.
He said he was a logo.
Houday Nation. Shouts out to Houday Nation and Paul Brown Stadium. I actually went to a football game there once. It was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, with Andy Dalton actually playing quarterback. So,
Can we expect good things this season from your personal experience as a Bears fan? From Andy Dalton?
with Andy Dalton, so it's just you don't know. Like he's not in his prime anymore. He's definitely passed over the hill of where his production was when they made those 5 straight playoff appearances.
And wasn't he like super old when he got drafted anyways? For a quarterback?
He was older, yeah. He was definitely older out of TCU, but yeah, I think like Andy is like a placeholder. I
Yeah,
think
we still have no playmakers to help him.
Yeah.
We need receivers who could like get space. Like and we don't have that.
Yeah. So we're just relying on our defense basically.
Give me a lot of check downs, tight end passes, maybe a couple throws to Allen Robinson a couple times. But
And as the Bears love to do,
Yikes.
running the ball. Nothing.
yeah, run
Bears football is always running on first down. Always.
It's not sounding good right here.
Always.
At least we don't have Cordell Patterson in there anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Nagy just loved running that sweep, that jet sweep.
Yeah,
Like,
with-
everybody's seen it coming like every time.
Yeah. And honestly, I just think they're in a tough division because I think, the Lions are the Lions. They're not going to win any
Yeah,
games.
the line. That's
The
two,
Packers-
that's 2 wins.
Yeah, the Packers are still really good. Like Aaron Rodgers is still MVP level, even with missing like most of the preseason. I think they're going to do fine. I think the Vikings will have a better year this year. I'm still not. I mean, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. Like
Well,
he's not gonna.
We'll probably split with the Lions. I mean, the Vikings 1-1. We'll probably split with them.
Yeah. Luckily, like since last year was the first year with a 17 playoff, so there is the chance that they can sneak into a back playoff spot. They just have to. Hopefully, either Andy Dalton comes out really hot and is able to run the offense really well, and the defense can kind of ride that momentum, or Justin Fields comes in sooner than expected and just blows everyone away with his talent. As the Bears, I don't think it's like a Super Bowl season.
No, we're
but-
playing for the future.
Yeah, it is.
It's
like-
never a Super Bowl season.
It's a bright future for the first time.
Yeah,
probably.
and I think that's what everyone can be optimistic about is that they have a quarterback that they can believe in for the future. May not be like this year; it's definitely not going to show.
This
But
is what it's come to.
in 2 or 3 years,
Bro,
people can be excited about a quarterback.
Hope.
Though Bears fan, I feel like Bears fans haven't been excited for a quarterback in a long time.
yes.
Like Jay Cutler was the best quarterback we've had, and that's saying
Smoking Jay, shouts
Smoking
out.
Jay.
I remember when people were all excited when we got Jay Cutler and we were like, yo, now's our time. Justin Fields, now it's our time. Rex Grossman, now's our time.
I mean, if we had Jay Cutler during the Rex Grossman team, I think it would have been a lot
Could have messed
better chance.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Grossman.
We still ran into Peyton, you know. We still ran into Peyton Manning.
We always have Devin Hester though, that run back. That's where the game ends.
Yeah,
In
that's where that Super Bowl ends.
in my dreams, it's kick off and then that's it. Bears win.
I feel like that's most.
Everything after that is a blur.
Yeah, I feel like everyone I talk to says like that first minute of that Super Bowl was the best.
That was the
'cause
most
that was
exciting thing I ever
crazy.
seen.
It's a great way to start.
That
And then
was
the other 59 minutes don't matter.
Yeah, that's what
We won that.
Yeah, you won that minute.
Fast forward to 2021.
That was our moment. So when we were talking about the NFC North, I had a question for y'all. Or lead y'all into. So we know we had the drama with Aaron Rodgers all summer, and now we're magically into the season. He's ready to play. What's your takes on that?
I'm tired of him saying he has no weapon. He has one of the best receivers and running backs in the game, and they always say he has no weapons. I'm like, come on, that's more than most teams had in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he does do a lot of complaining. To be fair, the team hasn't drafted weapons for him, really. Like, sure, like Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams have worked out really well, and they're two of the best of their position in the league. But for the past couple of years, like they've only drafted, I think it was like for all their first round picks, they did all defense, and then the one time they did take an offensive player, it was a quarterback. So that didn't sit well at all with Aaron Rodgers, and I don't blame him because like you're still playing at an MVP level, and they draft this guy to take you over eventually, but you're still playing at a high level.
That's
and
NFC North football too, is defense first, basically.
Right, and I honestly, at one point, I did think Aaron Rodgers was just going to leave. I thought he was going to retire and host Jeopardy for the rest of his life.
I was hoping. I didn't speak it into existence because I didn't want it to just shatter my dreams, man. But I was hoping he was not coming back anymore.
Hey, man, these days Jeopardy needs someone like Aaron Rodgers, bro. That's a whole other story in itself. Jeopardy's a mess. Continue. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I honestly, because like there was part of me that he just seems like a guy who's like, at this point in my career, like whatever, like it's all cherries on. It's like all just just extra on top of the massive sundae that he's already created for himself. I don't know what analogy was that.
It's like Russell Westbrook. He's great. He's a great like stats, but like he won. I mean, I'll give him the one he won. He got one.
He got the one.
Yeah, they had a great defense that year too, but yeah, the NFC's like getting the Bucks. I feel like it's between them and the Bucks again for like the best team in the NFC, and like maybe the Rams, but like I have no idea.
The Rams are like
the NFC West is like
third.
Yeah, like the NFC West is kind of like I don't know who's gonna win that division because there's so many good teams in that division.
Yeah, I like how the Cardinals look, but they're probably gonna be the last. But I like what they're building over there.
Yeah, and
the Seahawks are always.
Yeah, like you can never count out the Seahawks. The 49ers are supposed to be good again if they start their rookie quarterback. Cardinals, of course.
How many rookie quarterbacks are starting this year?
So Trevor Lawrence, of course, for the Jaguars. Zach Wilson for the Jets. Mac Jones. I think those are the only three starting. And then you have Fields. And I don't think Trey Lance is starting. I think they're still giving it to Jimmy G for at least a little bit. But I think it's going to be similar to the Justin Fields situation where in a couple weeks, if they're not winning games, then they're going to throw him in. Because their offensive line is pretty good, and they have plenty of weapons with Kittle and Mostert and Ayuk. So that seems like a better situation to throw a rookie quarterback in. But since they're paying Jimmy G all this money, they kind of like, oh, let's let Jimmy prove himself first, and then if he really does bad, then we'll throw in this rookie quarterback. But in the NFC, like the NFC South besides the Bucks is kind of like the NFC East is just garbage. Like, sorry, Cowboys. Like,
the football
you're still going to finish around 500 like you do every year.
The football team will probably
win the Washington football team will be pretty good. They still don't have a name. They're still the football team. Like, there's some generic Sega spin-off game.
Washington football.
10-yard. That's a 10-yard fight team right there.
Yeah, and it's as long as the Niners lose out, I'm happy. Goddess Crew said, not the Niners. The Niners are going to go 0-17 according to Goddess Crew, and you know that's a bold statement. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, it's all the AFC right now, man.
Yeah.
Buffalo,
Kansas City, Baltimore.
Yeah, but I mean Baltimore's running backs are dropping like flies right now.
Yeah, that's very true. They just had J.K. Dobbins got injured as well. They had to bring in
and Gus Edwards got hurt today.
And Gus Edwards got hurt, and they had to bring in old Le'Veon Bell to save the team.
Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman.
And they had to get some old guys to come in because all their running backs are dropping like flies. That's a good point. I totally forgot about that. So that makes me question them because they really run heavy with Lamar and the running team.
Yeah, it's more pressure on Lamar.
Yeah, but it seems like it's going to be the same. Like the top four teams that last year in the AFC and the NFC, I feel like they're still the top four teams. Bills, or I guess it'd be Bills, Chiefs, not Browns, Chiefs, but Bills, Chiefs, Packers, and Bucks are still like the top 4 teams in the league, and they're like that their own tier. Then I think there's like 4 or 5 at the next level. But I wouldn't. If Tom wins it again, I'm just gonna be so rattled if this man keeps winning football games. If like the NFL keeps letting this man win football games, like that's insane. Like why hasn't anyone figured out how to stop him at 40-something years old? Just be insane.
Do y'all think it's gonna be a round 2 of last Super Bowl?
It could be. I'm thinking Buffalo might make it.
I agree with that. I do like the Bills a lot this year because even sure like last year Josh Allen had he's been getting progressively better. It was in the MVP conversation last year. I've seen a lot of or I shouldn't say a lot. Stephen A. Smith of all people said. He's like, that was a COVID season. There were players opted out, and
the temerity.
Yeah, just like throwing his big words in there, and you're just like, dude, like relax. And he's like, I don't think they're gonna do the same. It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, but they're returning almost every starter from last year. The defense is only gonna get better. The offense is only gonna get better with Allen and Diggs. It's really between the Bills and the Chiefs again. I think they're gonna be the top 2 teams again. I think honestly with the Patriots, I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to be Super Bowl contenders, but I think that the defense is getting back so many players that opted out last year. They spent so much money in free agency that they've never spent before, bringing in 2 tight ends, pass rush, whatever else they were getting. And I think that'll be hopefully, depending on how Mac plays, of course, and it's going to be heavily relying on a rookie quarterback, which is a first time for Bill Belichick starting a rookie quarterback, which for a man who's been around since the 80s.
Since Tom Brady came in. Tom Brady came in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. And I do think from what I keep hearing from everyone, it seems like Mac's going to do fine because of how he makes decisions, and he's very Brady-like in the way that it may not be mobile, but he can get the ball where it needs to be. And that's all Bill Belichick needs, and that's what I think he realized he missed last year when he had Cam, and he's not going to have to run like quarterback powers where like Mac's not going to run it up the middle like they did last year. But it should be a good season, and I think that with 17 games, I think that's going to be very interesting to see how durability holds up.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking before the show started, there's only 1 bye week. So if they have a bye week like week 6, they play 5 games, take a week off, and then 12 straight weeks of 3 months of football like right after that. It's going to be a long season for some of these guys, and I think after this season or the next, they'll eventually throw in the second bye week so they can allow players like more time to recover and rest.
Yeah, they're still catching up from COVID last year, so they're trying to get on the schedule again.
Yeah, exactly, because it's all about getting the schedule, and as always, it's all about the money.
Facts.
That's all that Goodell and the whole NFL cares about, money.
It's going to be interesting how they do with the COVID this year.
Mm-hmm. I think, and I meant to bring that up with Cam. A lot of people questioned if Cam's vaccination status was a factor in him being released by the team, and I honestly think it kind of did a little bit because as people say, the best ability is availability. And if your starting quarterback cannot be consistently available because he has to miss 10 days for COVID protocol, then that's going to throw your whole team dynamic off. So I'm not saying it was like the number one factor that Bill took, but I think it definitely weighed on Bill's mind when he was trying to pick his starting quarterback for the season.
Do you think that'll hinder him from another job somewhere else?
I hope not. I think
he'll get picked up.
Yeah, he's not. There are not 30 quarterbacks better than him. I don't think. I think that he should get picked up. What team will take a chance on him is the real question.
The Bears, Doc.
They already have 3 quarterbacks, man. They don't need another one.
I can see him probably maybe in Houston, depending on what goes on with Watson.
Who knows what's happening in that Deshaun Watson
that
thing.
debacle.
Yeah,
scandal.
They're still not starting him week 1. They're starting Tyrod Taylor. So that's a good point. Like honestly, they should consider bringing in Cam. Like why not at this point? And I think a few other teams, who's on a team like the Falcons could if like Matt Ryan gets hurt, or what was another team I saw that was a good fit. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I do think he should.
What was
Denver? Yeah, Denver, because they're starting Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater.
Bridgewater.
Yeah. So I think he should get a job. Like it may not be a starting job, and I think he'll have to earn his way back into a starting role, but he definitely deserves to be on a team. And he posted something on Instagram the other day that was like, my football career, like some long thing, but essentially it was like, my football career's not over. So he still wants to play football, and he still believes he can at a high level, and I think he has the ability, and he should be on an NFL roster.
Absolutely. You guys mentioned Stephen A. I had a question that I wanted to bring up to the show. So
Blasphemous.
First take.
That is blasphemous, Max Kellerman.
First take is like up in the air right now. Max Kellerman is obviously not with First Take anymore, so I wanted to get your thoughts on. I don't know if you like followed the show. I caught some of it earlier.
I was never a Max fan.
Yeah.
Nah.
I feel you. So are you thinking the show is gonna like improve now that he's gone?
Yeah, once they find a good opposite of Steven, it'll keep going.
Yeah.
Steven really he's the main
man.
star.
Because you got what's buddy name? Ryan, the tall ex NBA player dude. Like between him and Kendrick Perkins, man, like
well, Kendrick's good. I mean, Kendrick's good at just basketball
takes
talk.
Be horrible, bro. They takes be horrible.
Yeah, Kendrick's
takes are terrible.
He's a Lamar. Yeah, I mean,
Carry on.
He's a LeBron fanatic. So
Carry on, as Kendrick Perkins loves to end his tweets on. He'll tweet something ridiculous and then just say carry on after. It's like, Kendrick, we can't carry on. You just said something so ridiculous.
Yeah, just don't bring Will Kane in there.
Yeah,
I don't like Will Kane.
No.
So what is Max finna do for time?
I think he got his own show, didn't he?
I think he's gonna have his own show. I know he's on some earlier show with
they put him on
Jay
the morning shift.
Williams.
Oh, they put him on the morning shift. It's 6 o'clock.
Jay Williams and Keon Johnson, I think.
Yeah.
They had Michael Irvin on Monday, which I thought was interesting because Michael Irvin's a very expressive and like very overzealous kind of guy. Like I forget what take they were arguing who was like who was the bigger GOAT, like Brady or Jordan. And Michael's take on Brady, he got like his red in the face, like screaming into the microphone, and Stephen A's just like, all right, like let's calm down here for a second. He's like, I'm not here to argue with you like that. You made some great points, and but the way that Michael brings out an energy, it makes it very interesting. And I'm trying to is Michael with a network or no? I think he's just on the NFL network. So he I don't know how that works with like contracts and like ESPN and all those things. So I think that would be cool because they call it Michael Irvin Mondays, and that's what they're doing for now. Will he become a full-time? I'm not sure. I'm really curious to see where they go in that direction to bring someone who can spar with Stephen A. If you will.
Yeah, because I'm not really feeling the show right now, to be honest.
Yeah, Skip and Shannon kind of got it right now.
Yeah, facts, undisputed.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like with either way, no matter people's opinions on Max, like I feel like with him leaving, First Take right now is definitely taking that second spot to undisputed.
Even if you ain't really rock with Max like that, you just gotta agree that he definitely leveled Stephen A. out.
Yeah,
I mean, he just said some atrocious stuff sometimes.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
I mean, you can't have Stephen A. carrying on how Stephen A.
Yeah,
do
exactly.
for a full however long the show is. Like, you
just
gotta
this
even
week,
that man out, man.
Absolutely, you see with just like the guest hosts or whatever, it's just like they're gonna try to
Right.
stand their ground and whatnot, but you need that force that is exactly going.
Right, you need that brick wall because when Stephen A. get a full head of steam, that man is like the juggernaut. Fam. Like he's just gonna keep going and going and going. You need that brick wall, man, to slow him down, like because he's still gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? You know how stubborn Stephen A. is, but I ain't watched sports talk TV in so long, man. Like it's crazy.
I feel that.
I cannot believe you, Max Kellerman. Yeah, Max for the takes that Max had, he was a great person to go against Stephen A.
Just personality wise.
Yeah, personality wise, they definitely met well on the discussion table, if you will, in their nice new studio overlooking New York Harbor or wherever that is.
In the Pier 1.
Yeah, Pier 1, whatever studios or whatever they call it now, because they had to have a place in New York. But yeah, I'm curious to see where they go, and I think that's what this whole period is like, testing with Michael Irvin, with Ryan Hollins or Kendrick Perkins,
Ryan Hollins, that's
the guy, yeah.
Okay,
Or Damian Woody they had on today, I think, and like they'll bring on, and I feel like depending on what sport they talk about, they might try to bring on other people because you're like sure Michael Irvin will have basketball takes, but it'll be coming from Hollins or Perkins is different from coming from Michael Irvin. So this will probably be like their test to be like, all right, let's see like what day has the best ratings and what day do people tune in and what do we get the most social media interactions from? Because social media interactions is probably a huge way they test it because they always post like tag up, like use this hashtag, like what do you think in this like certain poll. So it may be rough, and you were saying like it's not as good anymore, but it's a transitional period before they can find someone that can go against, or not go against, but just like work with Stephen A. in that collaboration.
It's like at least just withstand the debate.
Right. Facts.
Absolutely, because Stephen A. was just, you could tell right now that he's enjoying the freedom of Max not being there, and he's like, this is my show now, and I'm gonna enforce my will on everything. And it's like, it's Stephen A., but right now it's a little too much, you know.
Right now it's Stephen A.'s take.
It's a little too much, you know. You know what to expect with him, but it's
he's
just
gonna just eat up everybody else.
yeah, absolutely. That's
Facts.
exactly what's happening right now. He gets up out of his chair with the swag walk and everything. It's crazy, man. I mean, shout out Stephen A. That man works hard, but they definitely need that balance.
Yeah, man. Sports talk got too Jordan LeBronish for me.
That's the only reason. That's the one thing I don't like about Undisputed, because that's all they talk about is LeBron.
And it started to get terrible. Like, you want to be a LeBron fan, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really a fan, but it's not like I hate the dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan because of his fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could appreciate what he does, but in my opinion, he is nowhere near Jordan. Like, I'm gonna just leave it at this is too different of an era for people to try to compare him to Mike.
He's like an elite Pippen.
Yeah, like let him be the GOAT of this era. Like, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just say he a bum. He do stuff on the court that I don't like, but I'm becoming less and less of a fan of NBA basketball. Not of basketball, but NBA basketball. They brand of basketball,
it did get weak.
It's super watered down. I mean, there's so much beauty in the game that don't exist no more because of what they want to push.
Yeah, they just took
You know what I'm
defense.
saying?
Basically
Right out
took
the game.
defense out the game.
They prohibited defense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's cool. It's like, I don't know, but yeah, like the
You got
sports talk.
You got 7
the takes
footers
just
at the
got
top of the
crazy.
key. It just don't look
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Everyone's shooting threes,
Yeah.
and instead of
Yeah.
having like scores in the 80s and 90s,
That's
how
teams
Russ-
are pushing like 110, 120.
That's how Russell
Right.
Westbrook can get 20 rebounds, because you got like
so many threes
Antetokounmpo at the
being
top of the
knocked
key.
down.
Like,
There's
there's
no-
nobody nobody
Yeah,
to get the
no
rebound.
action in the paint
No
really
traditional
anymore.
bigs. You know? And I hate to sound like the old dude, you know what I'm saying? But it just, I like basketball was such a beautiful game. It's like it was so many different aspects to it, and you take all that away just to push one or two things to the forefront and focus on just that. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of good stuff still in the game. There's a lot of great players still in the league. It's just like, I would love to see, and I'm not even talking about the 80s where you could clothesline a dude out the air. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about penitentiary ball. Like, my favorite era was from like the mid to late 90s into like the early 2000s, like right before the 2010s, like just to get back to that. But it's like you
Kobe
said,
era,
right? You can't play defense. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest gripe, because I was one of the dudes who love the defensive action in a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Because as a kid, I wasn't really a hooper like that, but I could definitely stick to a guy and play defense. So I miss that. You know what I'm saying? I like seeing, because to be honest, not to take nothing away from these dudes, because you know they say, oh, you can't do it, so how can you judge them? No, I cannot go out I can't go to an open gym game and score 40. No, I can't. But dudes like James Harden, like these super scorers, like if you allow the players to actually play defense, and again, I'm not talking about clotheslining somebody out the air. That's not defense. But to actually put a body on somebody, bump somebody, they would not be getting these numbers. And then they hype them up because the way the game is played allows them to get these numbers. And then people have the nerve to say Jordan wouldn't score 50 in this league, wouldn't average 50. Are you crazy?
With no
Like,
defense, he'd score.
80s Jordan. Like 80s Jordan. Come on, man. Like, I'm not even talking about 90s polished game
About
fadeaway.
Jordan with the hair.
I'm talking about Jordan that came in with the hair, with the gold chains, was jumping over everybody.
Crossing over Larry Bird.
Yeah, like that Jordan, he wouldn't average 50? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I would love to see it. Too bad we can't, though.
Yeah, if he came into a league where it was focused on 3-pointers, he could have been one of the best 3-point shooters.
Yeah, 'cause he developed his shot later in the
He would have been like,
career.
"Oh, we're shooting 3-pointers, bet
what
I'm
we're
gonna
doing.
shoot I'm gonna shoot 400 threes until
He was just
I
that
pass out."
competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
And he averaged 37 in 88, the year he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
Like, he averaged 37 off tools. It wasn't like it was no such thing as a 3-point line.
But he didn't need it. He didn't
Yeah.
abuse it like these guys do nowadays. And like, yeah, that's a great point. And the way the game's changed into making it deeper, and like
they'll pass up an open lane to attempt a 3-point shot. Like,
even I cringe at that. Like when there's guys like 5 feet from the basket in the lane, and they just out of the corner of their eye see a guy in the corner, they're just like kick it, and you're like, no, you're right there.
Right.
Put it up.
2 points is still better than no points.
Yeah, exactly.
And he won that Defensive Player of the Year. I got to point this out, man. Like, he won that Defensive Player of the Year award in an era, in a year where the game was still primarily dominated by the big man. Having a guard at all, anything less than a center win Defensive Player of the Year at that time was unheard of, man. And again, I'm not trying to turn this into Jordan versus LeBron, but LeBron don't even got one being 6'8", quick as the quickest guard on the floor, physically imposing, and he don't got one. But people like to say, oh, he got to do too much. He got to do everything else on the team. I get it. Yes, he has his share of delegated responsibilities. But just leave that alone, man.
I feel like with defense, at the end of the day, like, that doesn't really – I get what you're saying with the responsibility, but I feel like defense is effort at the end of the day. You know, it's like you do have to put so much – if you're LeBron, you have to put so much emphasis on offense, and not to say that he's not a good defensive player, but, I mean, I feel you. I mean, you look at Giannis, you know, back-to-back, whatever. Like, I look at it as, like, why can't LeBron win 1 or 2 defensive players, you know? And I think if he really put his mind to it, same with, like, if he wanted to be a true scorer, you know, I think he could do it. He could do whatever he wants on the court. You know, I don't know. I think LeBron just has a lot of stuff going on in his mind, you know, whereas Jordan was just like, championship bust, get out of my way, this is what I'm going to do. You know?
I give it to these dudes. They have the extra added, I guess, like the social media thing. But at the same time, I'm not trying to give nobody a pass off that. I mean, yeah, you got social media, but stay off of it.
Imagine
you know
Mike on IG back in the day or something. It'd have been crazy.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, even Jordan's come out and said, like, he's like, I'm very glad I didn't have to play in like a social media era, because I bet for players it's taxing when you go back onto your phone and you see everyone like tag you on Instagram or Twitter and be like,
end up like KD having to have a burner account.
Yeah, like Kate, like
leave him alone, man. He's great. I think KD's
he's one of the best scorers of all time. And he accidentally tweets from his normal account. Uh-oh, KD, you got caught red-handed, bro. Yeah, like some players like love it. Like KD loves social media, and I love it when he gets on just to attack people, because like it's just so funny to see him just like go on his main and just be like, "Shut up, bro! Like you don't know what you're talking about." And people would be like, "Oh my God, KD responded to me." He's like, "Yeah, I got time." Or what was it? He tweeted something. And he's like, "This is." Someone came at him. He's like, "Why do you wait?" Someone was like, "Why do you waste your time on Twitter?" He's like, "This is Twitter. When I'm on Twitter, I'm at 100%. Like you can't stop me," or something like that. It's just so funny that like some players are like, yeah, like this social media can be crazy, it can be brutal, and Kevin Durant's just like, nope, I'm here to troll. Like, let's go. I'm here to like catch bodies out here.
Your boy Brady scored again, another touchdown.
Oh my goodness, Tom, you're insane, my man. You're nuts. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check Snapchat and see how many New England fanboys posted it on their stories. Oh wow, no one. They all just the people. Oh wait, there's one.
They're too focused on the game, man. Don't want to miss a second.
My Twitter is probably blowing up with, oh my God, Brady's still got it. Everything. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Tom Brady, and there's no one like him. But it's time to move on. In, like, my personal opinion, like, we can still appreciate him, but for Patriots fans, it's time to move on. And I was like, and like, there's this, they're like, the people who became Bucks fans just to follow Tom, it's like, that just shows no loyalty to New England to me. And like you just show loyalty to a man.
It's like the 2000 Bulls. Remember that era? That was, oh my God, like Michael Pfizer era, and Eddie Curry, and we had to sit through all of that.
They got a decent little five.
I like what they're doing.
I might watch just for them.
It's a playoff team.
Well, I ain't gonna say just for them, but they might be a reason why I watch it if I watch this upcoming season. I like their little five.
I feel like, man, if the Knicks could be the 4th seed, and I mean they completely botched it in the playoffs being the 4th seed against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, Julius Randle, he checked out.
They wasted that. So like, man, I think anything is possible, you know. And the East, I feel like, yeah, there's competition, but at the same time, it's pretty wide open, you know. And like you said, like this is the first time since D Rose era, basically, we have like even any type of excitement, any type of hype, any type of like we can do something.
It's a good start. I give him second round exit. I don't see him going no farther than the second round, even with it, because you still got Miami. You got Kyle Lowry that just went over there. I'm interested to see how he fit with that dynamic, and I think he's gonna fit well with Jimmy Butler and Adebayo and them over there. You still got the Bucks. You know what I'm saying?
We don't have any. We don't have no picks next year either, right? First round.
I don't.
So we might as well.
So,
might as well go for the playoffs.
Yeah. So I think it's this
They're
year.
all in. Oh yeah. For
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like, but they on the right track. I like dude. I think the GM that came over from Denver. Yeah, that's what the GM
Carson Overs.
Yeah. I like him. He came in and he hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they
Because he
needed.
put together a decent Denver team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't mad.
Yeah. No, we were talking about it last week, man. Just the front office of the Bulls was so crucial to change. Gar Paxson,
Man,
Hey.
I could have
That
popped the
era.
bottle once they finally got them about it. I'm like, man,
That era.
hey.
So it's a good time to be a Chicago Bulls fan. Bears, we shall see. We shall definitely see.
To be determined.
To be determined. But that's okay, Bears fans. You only have to watch like 6 or 7 weeks before the Bulls come in, so you only have to deal with it for a little bit before you can watch the more optimistic team in the Bulls.
And maybe we'll see the Sox in late October too. So
That's definite.
Facts.
Hey, what's
see
up
that.
with Buddy? We got hit in his knee with the foul ball.
Oh, I missed that.
Somebody got hit in their knee with like a foul ball like a couple nights ago
Oh shit. On socks?
on the socks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I missed that.
are you aware, Boss Dan?
Ooh, I'm not aware. I'm actually curious now. I'm actually going to see the Red Sox are coming to the South Side this weekend, and they come for one series every year, and I try to go to every game because this is the only chance I get to see the Red Sox. So I'm going Friday and tomorrow. Oh wow, tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow and Saturday to see them. But I do the White Sox. I feel like the White Sox are a wagon of a team right now. I love watching them play baseball on TV.
Once they get everybody back,
They're-
time, it's gonna be serious.
I think they have enough. I think they have enough talent, both bats and pitching wise, to make some real noise in October. And I'm very excited because if they can face the Yankees and beat the Yankees, there'll be nothing better as a Red Sox fan to watch. There's nothing better as a Red Sox fan to watch the Yankees lose. Because, sure, my team may not make the playoffs or my team may lose in the first round, but the Yankees didn't win, and that's all that really matters
That's
at
like
the end of the
anybody.
day.
That's like anybody in the AL. As long as the Yankees don't win.
So, when they lose to the Astros every year in the ALCS, it's just chef's kiss to me. It's just so beautiful. And Aroldis Chapman smiling as his team just gets eliminated from the playoffs is just so great. I can't wait for it. Sure, I'm excited for football, but there's nothing like playoff baseball. And I think the White Sox have a great team and a great chance to make some true noise in this playoffs. I'm very
Shout out
excited
them
for
boys
that.
out south.
Yes.
White Sox.
Shouts out.
Absolutely, that would be very nice, man.
Yeah, so we'll be looking forward to that. We'll be looking forward to football, basketball, Bulls, Blurs.
It's good on the horizon for Chicago sports, man. It's looking optimistic.
Yep.
Give a couple more years.
Yeah. Just under 60 days until Ramblers basketball starts. So everyone get hyped. Get hyped for the Ramblers. Coach Drew Valentine was at the Cubs game the other day, and I tried to say something cool to him, but I just totally verbally threw up all over myself. I was like, Coach, 9 weeks till season starts. Let's go. And I'm walking away from myself just like, what an idiot, dude. He thinks you're just an idiot, bro. And I was like, I wanted to sound so cool to Coach, and I messed up.
Just hit him with the dude, bro.
Yeah, I literally called him dude. I was just like, oh, you can't call him that. Which is funny because I should call him sir, but I think he's 29, 30. He's not even that old, which is he is the youngest coach. I believe he's going to be the youngest coach in D1 basketball.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, but
You got them season tickets, right? So you can make it up. Of
course.
Yes, sir. You're going to
of
make
course
it up.
he's going to see me. I mean, we're right behind the bench, so he'll be like, oh, that's the guy who.
Hey, remember 6'9"? That was me.
I think it's funny because I think he knows our group of season ticket holders because there was a golf event. There was a golf for the sports department the other day, and one of the guys who I share with Bob, he talked to Drew for 10 minutes about just anything and everything. So I think he's familiar with our group of tickets. So
He gonna know.
We're right behind. He's gonna hear us.
He gonna be on Northside Plugged one day. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, ooh.
I'm putting it into existence right now.
Speaking into existence,
Right
Drew,
now.
I'm gonna make it up to you. I promise. With my verbal throw.
You gonna be on the show with Boss Deck. We sweating.
I'm gonna be sweating. I'm gonna need a couple T-shirts. So, Coach, How's the team looking?
Couple T-shirts.
Like that Chris Farley skit.
Exactly like Chris Farley. All right. So, anything else sports related want to bring up?
I don't have anything. You guys, anything?
Quick Bears record prediction, Doc.
I saw it earlier. I looked through it. I'm optimistic at a 7-10,
Oh, yikes!
maybe 8-9.
Optimistic at
highly-
7-10.
A highly optimistic 8-9. I'm probably like a 7-10.
Oh, yikes!
I mean, it's a rough schedule.
It
It's
is a
very
tough
rough
schedule. It is true. It is a tough schedule. I'm gonna go 10-7 for the Pats. I think they're above 5. I don't think they get super above 500, but I think they're just around 500.
Y'all lose Tom Brady and they're still better than the Bears. That hurts as a Bears.
I mean, we get the Lions twice a year. That's always good news.
There we go.
We get the Jets twice a year.
Something to look forward to in the season. A morale builder.
That's two.
Just space them out for us in the schedule.
We're up 2 already. That's all I know.
Yikes. Well, I think we're 2 for 2 in the past 2 weeks on our sports topics. So thank you, Doc. Thank you, IAMGAWD, for contributing a lot of great content. I think we didn't get to lead into the show with IAMGAWD's tracks, so I think maybe we can, during the break, we will play a couple of the tracks and then lead into the interview with Doc and IAMGAWD. So as Balls Dan continues to update our YouTube, I will continue to talk as though we don't. So we do not have.
What is that from?
Dead
So
air.
I'm stalling. Oh, that's from the SpongeBob movie when she's like, "So I'm
So
stalling."
stalling.
So
You're stalling.
stalling. Okay. Yes. All right. Fabulous.
IAMGAWD, do you have a specific track that you want us to lead into the break?
Nah, man, just let them fly. Let them fly.
Let them fly. Let them fly.
All right. So
So we got Dreadhead Zombies from the new project out by IAMGAWD, produced, engineered, mixed and mastered by Dr. Mindbenda, Hells, Angels, and Heaven's Demons.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
all right. So we'll get that track going and we'll be right back. So make sure to stay tuned in, y'all.
Yeah.
Northside Plugged. There we go.
The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams. The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams. The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams. The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams.
What down with it? This shit is wicked on these mean streets. None of my friends speak. They either 6 feet or making ends meet. From the boundaries of Chicago public housing, where everything wrong is arousing. The murder rate is up in the hundreds and counting. That a surprise to y'all? Blunders result in the guns thunder, so wonder we survive at all. Them dreadhead zombies itching to kill, possessed by fast money. Liquor and pills. At one point in time, they might have been innocent adolescents, tainted by the street. Now they brandishing battle weapons. Could have been lack of guidance, a loss of a loved one, or maybe scars and memories from what a slug done. Or maybe it's for protection, cause alone they couldn't stand. Or maybe they was born in this shit and they never stood a chance at a wholesome childhood. We grew up in wild hoods where again get smoked as often as squares, miles, and woods.
The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams. The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams. The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams. The line is shut, so the music is out professional. And that will lead to effective with teams.
Look, we used to fight for building blocks. Now them blocks lined with abandoned buildings that's home to these famished children of the ghetto. Heavy metals always in arm's reach. The savage ain't this lavish and shit ain't Palm Beach. This is poverty stricken, dependent on lottery tickets, pending cases, post-traumatic stress disorders. Test the waters if you dare to. Some try running from it, but where to? Using it off a goofy, thinking that these streets will spare you. These against IG banging, Facebook live and they location baiting the ops. Guarantee you they sliding and they bloodthirsty. Dissing dead homies in the music, pouring gas on the fire. This ain't only for amusement or purpose of entertainment. Them hearses come in abundance. The soundscape is gunshots, the rhythm is redundant and in full surround sound. Dolby Digital is pitiful, really. Ain't a moment the hospitals is empty, it's real life.
The light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. The light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. The light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. The light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams.
I'm from where this shit's fucked up, but nobody offer no kind of help. Dreadhead zombies and skinny jeans and designer belts with big pistols they can barely control. To live and die in the city where we rarely get old. The school system's fucked up, bullpens they overpacking, and them dreadhead zombies be creeping to catch you lacking. This night of the living dead every day in these streets. It's fucked up because the kids can't even play in these streets. They lay in these streets, holier than the preacher's robe. No one can reach a soul. Now when PC rests in the deepest hole, the streets is cold, so the heat is kept. I wonder if Jesus wept when Munson gets up at that egregious death. They hearts withered from dark liquor and hardship. Put everything on guard, but live and die by that squadish. On Fonum grave, my people were so enslaved. Dreadhead zombies, wasted potential in dead bodies.
It's the light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. It's the light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. It's the light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. It's the light is shut, so the music is out confessional. And that would lead to infected with dreams. It's the light is shut, so the music is out confessional.
Yeah, Dr. Mindbenda. I am God. Show these niggas how to rap real quick, you know what I'm talking about? Cause most thought we forget how to rap. Chicago. Look, any rapper thinking he's stopping this is tweaking. That shit is highly preposterous. You see, still keep popping this shit. Your next release will be posthumous. I am God. These niggas know who the prophet is. Could care less what the profit is, long as the people rock to this. Don't get it puffed up. I'm most deaf about that legal tender, but I'm also about the respect I get as a lethal spitter. Far from a goofy, the truth be I'm a cerebral. Think that shit is sweet till you taste defeat and it leave you bitter. The gets vicious and your missus want some evil in her. My it's cold like I wrote it in the midst of a freezing winter. This is rapping dominance, my rap astonishes the brain. Rappers hear my name and suffer from lack of confidence. It's common sense like Lonnie Rashid Lynn. If it's tension in the air, I probably breathe in. I'm with all the smoke, this shit's all a joke. This what you call a goat, he might not wrote his raps, but I can't go for that like hop and never die. I'm just trying to carry on a tradition of venomous spitting. Shut the fuck up and listen, hip-hop it'll never die. Don't never try no again rapping the shy. Ain't no need to ask why, just know that the hip-hop it'll never die. I'm just trying to carry on a tradition of venomous spitting. Shut the fuck up and listen, hip-hop it'll never die. Don't never try no again rapping the shy. Ain't no need to ask why, just know that this hip-hop it'll never die. I spit lyrics of the wickedest type, sick with this mic. These rappings and it don't exist when I write. I'm in a league of my own, you should leave him alone. When he's in the zone, the disease on a song, seizing the throne. Ain't too many thoroughbreds in this game left. Claim you do it for the culture, yet you disrespected in the same breath. Ziggins be talking cash like this shit the hottest. If we being honest, I'm feeling like all you the Ziggins garbage. Got too big for them tight bridges, acting disorderly. All you goofies do is chase clout and sing horribly. Half rappers, I'm here to let the true MCs in. Before you try to this shit on hip-hop, tuck your knees in. We should all be able to coexist, but every time I turn around, some goofy trying to throw a diss. So whether you backpack or trap, drill rapper in between, just know the ledge of this shit and be thankful for what it brings. It'll never die. I'm just trying to carry on a tradition of venomous spitting. Shut the fuck up and listen. Hip-hop it'll never die. Don't never try no again rapping the shy. Ain't no need to ask why, just know that the hip-hop it'll never die. I'm just trying to carry on a tradition of venomous spitting. Shut the fuck up and listen. Hip-hop it'll never die. Don't never try no again rapping the shy. Ain't no need to ask why, just know that this ain't gon' stunt, it'll never die. This shit get hella depressing, cause all these rappers and producers trying to do their best Griselda impression. From the city where you gotta go through hell for a blessing. School of hard knocks where you can die from failing your lessons. These niggas mock they dead ops, make songs about them that die next. Straight bullets bury the baby. There's too much to digest, so why flex? In this city, you see the good hardly, but it's definitely beauty and it shouts to Inglewood Barbie. Vacant lots, fed up civilians that hate the cops, still mentally enslaved with no way they could break the locks. The government gentrify the ghetto and take the blocks. Carry pistols cause they scared of ass whoopings and hate the box. You say I'm taking shots, I say that I'm speaking facts. Chief, relax, they drilling this shit like Duval and Meet the Blacks. You ride whatever wave, hoping that these labels sign you. Meanwhile, I'm just here to remind you that hip-hop, it'll never die. I'm just trying to carry on a tradition of venomous spitting. Shut the fuck up and listen. Hip-hop, it'll never die. Don't never try no wiggin' rapping the shot. Ain't no need to ask why, just know that the hip-hop, it'll never die. I'm just trying to carry on a tradition of venomous spitting. Shut the fuck up and listen. Hip-hop, it'll never die. Don't never try no wiggin' rapping the shot. Ain't no need to ask why, just know that this hip-hop, it'll never die.
And we are back over here on Northside Plugged. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yes,
Yep.
We just heard I Am God, 2 tracks off the new project, right? Both tracks were off the project.
yes.
Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons. So we can get right into it, man. Do you want to maybe break down both, whatever? There's a lot going on in those tracks right now. You're spinning your stuff, man. So
Appreciate it, gratitude.
yeah, absolutely appreciate you.
And also, Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons, man. This was actually supposed to be my first project, you know what I'm saying, coming back to rap. Because, you know, I quit in, like, 2017, sometime around there. Like, just, you know what I'm saying, frustrated with music, you know what I'm saying, just over it. Wasn't really feeling nothing that was coming out by more notable artists, so I decided to hang it up, you know what I'm saying. Here we are today, Old Habits Die Hard. I came back at, like, the end of, 2019? Shout out to the homie GQ, because I put out, like, I was doing, like, a series of, like, freestyle videos or whatever. And Griselda, like, they kind of like the reason why I jumped back into it, because I'm like, oh, y'all like this again? Y'all like this type of music again? Okay, bet. So I was real big on Benny the Butcher at the time, and he had put out, I think that was Tenor Talk 3 with 97 Hove. And I did like a little freestyle video, and I called mine 96 Nas, you know what I'm saying? And I did like, I think it was shootouts, and I Gave You Power. So I like put the 2 beats together and just did like a little freestyle or whatever. And he ended up seeing it and he retweeted it. And the homie GQ, you know what I'm saying? Like he saw that and he hit him up like, hey Benny, who is that? Is that your new artist? He's like, nah, fool, he from your neck of the woods. You know what I'm saying? He from Chicago. So, you know what I'm saying? He had never heard of me or whatever, and he reached out. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to homie GQ, because it's like the master connector of dots. Like this man know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So he introduced me to Doc, you know what I'm saying? And me and Doc started working instantly. Like he invited me to the lab, Grindhouse, you know what I'm saying, Fort Knox, and just to play some beats. And the first joint he played was the beat for Dreadhead Zombies.
Oh, dope.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, if you come in like this, it's gonna be easy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you say you made that joint.
Yeah, I made that beat specifically after hearing I seen the video pretty much the same time GQ did, and he hit me up like, yo, you should work with this dude. I'm like, I already had intentions, like that's good, and you see what I see.
Right.
So yeah, I made that beat pretty much with that rhyme that he had. Like I just went off of what that rhyme specifically, and it took me back to that. Like that's why I put the Jay-Z quote in there for the hook as well, just to tie into that concept he had going. And yeah, the chemistry was just there from jump. So, yeah,
It's simple. Like if you got dope beats, you know what I'm saying. I know how to rap. You know what I'm saying. Let's just put something together. It ain't really too much to think about. So, out of that first session, like I think I grabbed like 13 joints from him or something like that. But I'm real funny with beats. Like I'm super picky, because I used to be the dude that rapped to any and everything. So like nowadays, it's kind of like I pick something, and later on when it's actually time to write to it, it's kind of like it don't hit the same no more. So I like out of that batch of 13 joints, like I probably wrote to like 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? So we had 4, but he was already working with other notable artists in the city. Shout out to Fillmore Green, Vic Spencer. He already had prior obligations that it was time to wrap up. So our thing kind of slowed down for a minute. He started, you know what I'm saying, finishing up what he started with the other guys. And shout out to the homie Johnny Guns. I met Johnny Guns through him. You know what I'm saying? So I met him through GQ, and I met the homie Johnny Guns and Dosage and the Hosa through him. So from collaborating with Johnny Guns, you know what I'm saying, like, I end up hearing about this producer named Max Julian. Max Julian is tight with the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? So he talking to Guns like, who is that? I wanna work with dude. He like, oh, that's the homie. I was T to God at the time. T to God. That's the homie T to God. We out the band. You know what I'm saying? He record with Doc. So he reached out to me. We ended up working, and it was again instant chemistry. So that's how I released my first project in August of 2020. My first project coming back into the game, which was IAMGAWD.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And
If you break down that name for him real quick.
yeah, the name. So the name is like it's IAMGAWD, and it's an acronym. So IAMGAWD is basically, when you put it together, is I am getting ahead without devolving. You know what I'm saying?
What was the last word?
I am getting ahead without devolving. You know what I'm
Devolving.
saying?
Okay.
So it's kind of like I'm not going backwards to quote unquote get ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna do nothing. I'm gonna look in the mirror at myself and be ashamed or not be happy with the person that I see to get some success or to get the bag or however you want to call it. Like I'm gonna get to it on my own terms. It might take longer, it might not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be able to look at myself in the mirror, you know what I'm saying, in the future and be pleased with what I see before me. You know what I'm saying? With that reflection and what I did to get here. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got with Max Julian. We knocked out IAMGAWD. Shout out Max Julian. That was the first project back. Through him, I met a talented, this dude is like a jack of all trades, like producer, he do graphic design, you know what I'm saying, custom made, you know what I'm saying, and we knocked out a project called The Eternal Reflection, which I dropped in April of this year. Through him, I met the homie Decay. Shout out Decay, shout out Filthy Records. And that's how I merged with Filthy Records, you know what I'm saying, and put out, the Eternal Reflection actually came out through Filthy Records. It's a Chicago independent record label.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like just like a domino effect of meeting people, you know what I'm saying, and doing business and building these rapports. And by the time we finished with The Eternal Reflection, we had already been started back, you know what I'm saying, working on our project and where we had left off. And, you know, like the joints that Doc was sending, they was connecting. They was connecting. So I never kind of really know what I want to do going into a project. I just kind of let the music dictate the pace and the message and, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and it wasn't really it was no wasted music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really, as an artist, I'm not really big on doing a bunch of songs and just picking a few for a project. Like, I kind of like focus and put my effort into what's at hand, what's in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
Calculated.
So, yeah, it's really no left, maybe one or 1.5. It's one leftover joint. The intro of the project was a totally different intro with the same title. You know what I'm saying? Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons. But I just thought that the title was so dope of a concept. The original intro, it was just kind of like me rapping, just bars. You know what I'm saying? No real significance, no content. I'm like, this is too dope of a title for me to just like have it attached to a project, but it means nothing. So that's when I scrapped that idea and rewrote it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you get like the kind of the small little anecdotes within the song. I talk about the doctor that botches his patient's operations because pay from their occupation don't equate to his compensation. Or what about the nurse that's a secret racist? She see the faces of black and brown youth on a frequent basis, stab wounds, gunshot victims. To her, they less than animals. Her favorite pastimes, watching them flatline. Or the Catholic priest touching on altar boys, or the physically, sexually abusive stepfather. Like all these titles that we would normally deem as good people. But within that, I feel like it's bad in every good person and it's good in every bad person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be there in that specific situation to see that. So I kind of wanted, normally that title would be Heaven's Angels and Hell's Demons. I just wanted to turn it on his ear and, you know what I'm saying, play with the title Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons to show the dichotomy of these people we hold to a high standard. They human just like us. They capable of the same evil that we all capable of. So, and that's what that intro addresses. So, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, and it was dope because that was the first song I heard, And I'm like, damn, okay. I didn't know what to expect. I know what to expect on a dog beat. You know,
Right.
I've worked with Doc for a minute, so I know he's going to come with it. But that was like, all right, for sure. And then you just boom, boom, bar, bar, bar. And there's significance behind the bars. And I could tell right instantly, you know, it's like you have tenure in the game. You know, like you know what you're doing. You've got the cadence. Everything was spot on. So I just from hearing that intro alone, you could tell like, boom, the merger is there, you know? So yeah, no, absolutely. It's refreshing, man. I always tell people that, you know, I'm in the slightly younger generation, you know, so it's just like, I don't know, man. It's refreshing to hear real, not to say that what's going on now isn't real hip hop, you know, but people that care about the bars, every single bar, the little details of what's going on, you know, because it's now more, not everybody, but now it's more derived on like sound, you know, and the beats and vibe.
It's vibe driven.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe. But even what we do, you know what I'm saying, it's a vibe as well. It's just
not to say that it wasn't, right?
Yeah,
it's different.
It's a different frequency, you know what I'm saying? Like some people just want to move. They want something simple and catchy that they could repeat and sing along with, and that's fine. Because I went through that phase of music too. It's just for guys like us. I like to be challenged. I like to be made to think. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
It's more cerebral music.
exactly, and I'm a cerebral individual. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always in my brain and my mind about something. I'm always thinking or questioning something. So that's naturally gonna come out in what I do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a natural evolution. I'm like Chicago got so much to offer right now as far as the underground, man. Like it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago has an amazing underground hip hop scene right now. Like I could name so many artists. Shout out Fillmore Green, Vic Spencer, Brittany Carter, Def C, Green Slime, Tone Live, Solar 5, King 7, Johnny Guns, Dosage Hinojosa, like A-Dot, my guy A-Way. Like it's so many of us right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and we do a little bit of everything. Like it's something for everybody. And Chicago always been one of those cities to where any form of music that you're looking for, we got it and we do it at a high level.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's always been like a melting pot. I'm just glad I came back at the time I came back.
True. Where were you before?
I mean, just like Chicago, but just like
Oh, I see.
the type of music I was
Gotcha.
doing. Right before I quit, I was kind of toying with the trap sound and, you know what I'm saying, trying to see, okay, well, this ain't been working, so let me try my hand at this. And I could do it. I pride myself on being MC's MC, and I feel like as an MC, you should be able to master all styles of rap and be able to do a little bit of everything. But I hang my hat on what you hear, stuff like this. Like, I consider myself a throwback MC. Like, it's the artist from, like, the mid to late 90s and the early 2000s that raised me. You know what I'm saying? That's when I really started paying attention to rap. I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? So anything from like 94 up into 04, that's my golden era. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I pride myself on that. Like the storytelling, you know what I'm saying? The no bars off mentality, you know what I'm saying? Not want to just say anything to fill a line and take up space, like being able to play with different styles and cadences, having content, you know what I'm saying? And just being able to thread all that together and present something that people enjoy. Like I take pride in that.
Absolutely. Do you guys want to dive into like the process of creating the project together? Like studio vibes or, you know, just bouncing off ideas?
I mean, it's pretty clear cut, man. Like I make the beats usually by myself at home in my own environment. And I send him the beats, and then I don't know what they do creatively, writing wise. But by the time you come in the studio, it's sit in the chair, you ready? Boom, step in front of the mic, boom, boom. I mean, we knock stuff out quick.
It's just like throwing darts at a dartboard. You know what I'm saying? You try to get as close to the bullseye as you can, and you see what stick. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm trying to get to where I'm comfortable in other environments and different settings writing, because I'm a hermit, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like I'm in a room, I got my own thoughts.
I mean, we're older too. So like you said, you have kids, so it's like we're like back in like I'm his age too. So like when I was 20, I could stay in the studio 24 hours a day writing and just hanging out. I could do that no problem. Now it's like I have an objective. I'm in and out.
Yep.
I feel like I get more work done that way than just sitting in there playing video games. You know, nothing wrong with that, because that's how you get a vibe as well. But as far as us being older, you know, it's easier. It's kind of just like riding a bike, man. You're in there, it's exercise, in and out, and like boom.
Yeah, like we both tenured, you know what I'm saying, in what we do, you know what I'm saying, even though I'm technically a new artist all over again. Like I've been rapping for more than 20 years. I'm 35, you know what I'm saying? So I started rapping at 10. I started taking it seriously at like 12 maybe, you know what I'm saying, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. So I got more than 20 years in to perfect my craft, and I still don't feel like I'm as good as I should or could be. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Doc, you know what I'm saying, who been producing and making beats, you know what I'm saying, for hella long too. So it's kind of like, I just feel like he said, it's like riding a bike. Like when you know what the objective is, like again, I don't know exactly what I want to say or do going into a project, but I know it has to be dope. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it's dope, I don't work with people who I don't feel like could complement what I do.
Likewise,
You know what I'm saying?
likewise.
Yeah.
I'm very particular about who I work with, especially with full projects. I like to work as a producer. You know, there's a couple of different type of producers. Some people just like making. They're cool with like one song on an album here and there. They're cool with they're putting their beats on YouTube or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. However you get your way out is how you get out. But I like to produce a full body of work from beginning to end, so where I could showcase my ability as well as the MC.
That's dope.
And just, you know, that's pretty much like, cause I grew up on people like RZA who did whole albums, classic albums. And I mean those are the people that inspired me to want to do it. You know what I mean? You know, I was never like a single driven type of guy.
Me neither.
So I've always liked a full body of work, and I pride myself on being able to do that. And I choose the correct MCs that complement my beats as well, and I feel like I could bring something out of them as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I go about choosing who I work with, and that's why like I don't put out a lot of product all the time, but when I do, I like it to be solid and you know, have it stand on something.
And to translate that on the artist side, it's kind of like, that's why I say I'm so picky with beats. And it's not to say that something I don't pick or something I might have picked and kind of go back on, it's not to say it's not dope. It's just not doing for me what I needed to do to be my best as an MC. Like I needed to pull that emotion from me. I needed to direct me and tell me where to go. I listen to the beat. I'm not the type of artist that writes verses or write a song to nothing. I can't. I'm creative. I'm not that creative. I need the direction. I need the energy from that beat to complement what I do. The beat is my partner in crime. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this man is my partner in crime. So I'm heavily reliant on what he's providing for me to be able to paint. Without no canvas, I'm stroking in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing there. So it's kind of like
we paint the scenery. You know what I'm saying? But he's the action in the scenery. You know, like what's going on in this landscape. You know what I mean? So he's the one that's actually keeping your attention the full time.
But it's like now to where it's like that the producer is just as much as an artist is the actual artist.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I pay attention to little nuances and things like that. Like I feel like after a certain time, after a certain while, because it took us a minute to get this project together. We started, stopped, started back again. So I feel like through that period of time, Doc kind of like found, like, not necessarily found, but he was like, all right, I know what to send him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when it came to a certain point in the process, I was writing to everything he sent, where it was like, not this one at first, not that one. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it wasn't dope, it just wasn't pulling, it wasn't doing what I needed it to do for me. Exactly. So yeah,
I like to work like that too. Like have the first half. Like that's how most of my projects go. They do the first half. I get excited about it, sit on them a little bit, see, see if they withstand the test of time in my ears, and then build off of the chemistry we get off the first initial couple songs. Yeah, that's how I usually go about producing albums and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Doc, do you want to go into, I guess, like, your tenure in the game, because you've been in it a minute, and you've worked with a lot of artists. Do you just want to like dive into that a little more?
Basically, I always say I pretty much started taking it serious when I moved to Chicago. Like it was always a hobby. We always grew up around hip hop, so we always made music as kids. It was just like it wasn't a thing and shit. We just never had an outlet prior to the internet era, the blog era, where you could send your music out and be heard from nowhere, USA. You always had to be in these specific hubs to get heard, and we just never had the outlet to do that. But we were always driven, and I was always like I'm a very much a hermit as well. So I'm always in the studio, but I'm working. You know what I mean? I like to work in solace and peace, and to get all my ideas out that way. And then when I moved to Chicago, it forced me to be a little bit more outgoing, meet artists to work with, you know, and in that time, that short period of time, I met Vic Spencer, who I still work with to this day. So he's one of the first artists I met out here.
Shout out Vic.
And the chemistry we built, because he was the same age as me when we grew up on the same music, so it just kind of just clicked.
Yeah.
Through him, I was able, you know, I was able to meet Chance at that time. This is before 10 Day. He was just like starting to finish up 10 Day. And I did like a lot of like loose tracks he was doing for Fake Shore and stuff.
True.
And in that time, I seen that was a weird experience too, because I can honestly say that's one of the first people you could see star quality in somebody at a young age before it happens. Like, all right, I could see he's gonna go somewhere, because he had his head straight on the whole time, and he did what he said he was gonna do. To be honest with you, he did everything he said he was gonna do. So I met a lot of more Chicago artists that way, and from that point on, I just built like a brand. I built the brand. The Grindhouse brand was me and my cousin. My cousin's Joe Grind. I pretty much moved in with him, so that was the Grindhouse. You know what I'm saying? It was just the name stuck.
That's dope.
And the grind, we just kept grinding. Obviously, lived the name. And you know, from that point on, it was just around that time. 2012 is when Chicago was lit.
Hell yeah.
Everybody was coming out. You know, the internet, the blog era was pumping. So through that time, I was able to meet a lot of people. Got work on pretty much all the big blogs. Around that time, I put out a production album, like in 2013, with pretty much everybody in Chicago at that time on the underground level. That did pretty well. Yeah, so it just kept meeting other artists here and there. Did a lot of EPs from that point on, from 2014 to now. I didn't put out a lot of work, but like I said, I worked with who I wanted to work with, like Suleiman. Me and him have like 3
Treaty Crew.
Yeah, Treaty Crew. I was part of Treaty Crew. So I worked a lot with Mike Terror, Jesus Peace, Suleiman. Me and Suleiman put out like 3, I could say they're classics. I think they're classics, but 3 solid EP projects.
Sorry.
A lot of production on Vic's early projects, a lot of his albums. Yeah, I'm blanking out on all the names. I know Sean Price I was able to work with through Vic. That was one of my idols growing up as well. One of my favorite rappers of all time. I was able to do a couple tracks with them.
That's dope.
Rest in peace, Sean Price.
Rest in peace to Sean Price. So yeah, man, I can't remember all the names of the artists I worked with off the top. I'm drawing a blank, but it was a lot. And yeah, just stayed busy. Engineering was something. Engineering wise, that was just something to stay in the studio. I was able, like, I just wanted to be a producer. I had no dreams of being an engineer at all. And luckily, my mentor back in Waukegan, where I'm from, he offered to just for me to intern there, because I guess
awesome.
Whatever he saw in me, RIP to him as well, Jeff.
Yeah, I used to record with Jeff too.
Yeah, he just saw something in me. He just liked my work ethic in the studio, and he's like, he showed me the ropes and, you know, what the EQs do and this and that. And he didn't really just show me too much, but he just led me in the right direction. Sure. And it sparked something. It's like, you know, production is cool, but like it's few and far between. Unless you're like a major producer, you're gonna eat every day off selling beats. And like I said, I'm not gonna go the YouTube route to where I'm gonna just put my stuff out everywhere. So like I'll take my time with it as far as production goes. So something's gotta pay the bills. You know, there's 3 million people in this city. A lot of them want to be rappers.
Facts.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? I love being in the studio. I know how to do this. I've done it every day of my life. Why not do it for a living? And I just built it up every day. Just stayed open, worked, built. I mean, a lot of the clientele I had back then, I still have now. And that's pretty much the main part of this business, is building that honest clientele that's going to come back to you no matter what. Because there's a million studios in this city that you can go to. And, you know, they obviously come to me for a reason, you know, so.
Absolutely, for sure.
Like you being one of them, G. Like, I've worked with you for so long, seeing you evolve as an artist as well. Like, that motivates me to keep going as well.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
So
Dope.
That means a lot to me, Doc. And speaking for, like, whether they're watching or listening now, just, like, the whole wave of our group and whatever, like, meeting you was a game changer. Because, like, whether it was, you know, low-key little studios, you know, us recording in the closet.
That's how I started,
you
too.
know,
You got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. Different engineers, you know, but it was, once we found Doc, you know, I was blessed to meet Doc through 625, you know. Shout out ISO, shout out Esteban, Vicious, all them. we hit that first session, and then it was instant. It was like the connection was there, you know, and it was still like we were youngins, you know, we were like 19, 20, 18, 17, whatever, still like fresh in the game, you know, like just.
I mean, that's around the time I was at. So like I see, like you can see yourself in the youth that come in, that the vibrant energy they have of being in front of the mic, being nervous the first time. I remember all of those feelings and shit. So it's just good seeing it. I mean, seeing it live in person in front of you, and just seeing the progression in somebody.
Yeah. You know? No, there's much love, man, and it's just like once that connection was made, and I'm speaking for all of us, you know, it was just like we look up to you. We thank you. You know, we're blessed that, you know, you take the time to trust in us, you know, even if, you know, it's not always the best or whatever, you know, it's just like.
Hey, man, it's all subjective, man. I learned that a long time. I like stop being like critiquing other music because you don't know what goes into that man's thought process and what he's feeling. It might, you know, it might not be my cup of tea or whatever, but you know, you gotta respect the artistry at the end of the day.
Absolutely, man. And you know, like you just really, I don't know, man. Like you put in a belief in us that we didn't even know was there, you know. And I feel like you can probably attest to that in your own way, you know. And when it coming from an artist, and once you lock in with that engineer that you feel is on the same wavelength, it's a game changer, you know? And I feel like for you right now, you feel that with your project and everything, you know?
Because you ain't got to direct, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I mean, I give suggestions and say, hey, can you do this, can you do that? But it's nothing to where, like, I can't do his job, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, because I still call the little effect, I'll be like, hey, put that telephone, put the telephone.
Like, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't do his job. You know what I'm saying? Like that would take a lot of sitting down and a lot of learning. And I'm a type of person that can appreciate the art in something from afar.
For sure.
Like I can't cook a lick, but I'll watch cooking shows. I
watch cooking shows eating sandwiches.
Yeah, facts. I can't, like, only thing I could do on a car, I could change my tires. You know what I'm saying? Like that's about it. Change my headlights. That's about it. But I love, like, I would sit and watch a TV show with a person working on a car, taking it from a lemon to like restoring it to some classic or something like that. I just like seeing people do what they do best. So I'm not one of the artists that just want to come in, rap, and then leave. Like, nah, I want to be there for the whole process. I enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons, like, a lot of people be like, man, get your own studio to save you some money. True, I understand that, but it's the vibe.
But at the end of the day, does it really? If you're not knowing what you're doing, you
And
just
then
spend
you
a
can
get
whole
all that
bunch. You
equipment.
spend a whole bunch of money not knowing what to do.
Because you finna pay somebody to mix and master it anyway. So it's
It
like
takes
you
so much time to hone
And
into
yeah,
that craft.
unless you really want to do that, then I would
gonna learn
invest
it.
into it and learn it.
I
but-
just like the vibe. I like saying I'm going to the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like it make me feel like I'm working towards something.
Absolutely.
That's kind of like the Bat Cave. You know what I'm saying? You take
Absolutely,
away
for
the
sure.
studio, it's like was Superman without the phone booth.
Absolutely.
Was Batman without the Bat Cave.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Absolutely.
like I love going to the studio. I don't think I'm gonna be investing in no equipment no time soon. Like I like that's a necessity of a expense that I'll continue to pay. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a good thing going. I don't want to tamper with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
'cause, like I've seen it, like it's like a mic is a mic, but like shoes are shoes, but
You ain't wearing
are
any
Crocs
shoes.
are Crocs the same as Balenciagas? They both cover your feet. They both get you from point A to point B, but there's clearly a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the art and the thought process into everything that makes the Balenciaga, and then, you know, Crocs.
I mean,
is
just
Crocs.
the quality of it and everything is there's levels to it. You know what I mean? So,
Levels to everything. Facts.
Absolutely. Oh, I was gonna say something. I forgot. But I mean, like once I started producing, because you said like the telephone and stuff, and when I would first start work with Doc, and I was just the artist, it was the same thing, you know. And then it was like once I started producing, and I caught myself a little mic too, but it's still sitting there, man, because I'm just like, it takes too much time, bro. You know, like I could cook up a beat to the best of my abilities, and it's gonna come out busting. But then I try to engineer myself, and it's
Right.
you know, and that's that moment when I appreciate Doc so much more, you know, because I'm like, yo, like this man not only, you know, it's not just one artist, it's 24/7, you know, and you got to sit through so much butt,
To
you
be
know.
able to maintain the ear. Like,
with that thing though, which what I say, because that does happen. But whenever stuff like that happens, I always remember I could be working a 9-to-5 job that I do not want to be at.
Facts.
At least I get to sit here, smoke weed, listen to music. I don't know if I can say that on the radio.
You're good.
But,
we're a
you know what I
pro
mean?
marijuana show on
You
this.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, I could do all of the things that I love to do and get paid for it, man.
Absolutely.
So I will sit through a horrible session happily anytime, any day of the week.
Yeah.
Just thinking, man, I could be doing something else.
Absolutely.
Facts.
I mean, especially during the pandemic too, man.
Like
you
I was
know?
blessed to have steady flow of work during the pandemic because I mean it did do damage to a lot of businesses.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
Absolutely.
But being in this business, it's like kids have a lot of free time. They're cooped up in the house. They got money from stimulus checks. You know, they're going to want to come out. So.
Yep.
It was a
I mean,
blessing.
we were very responsible. We kept it clean.
yeah.
Like when he said, like he caught it early. He called me right away. Like I went to the studio, sprayed everything down. I made sure I hit up everybody, just saying like somebody had it that week. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much the only scare we had.
And I was worried about spreading. Luckily, I ain't give it to nobody. But I'm like, man,
that's love.
because I don't be around too many people. Like I said, like it was some other people there. You know what I'm saying? In the studio, but it's just like. It's like, hey, bro.
You just never know, yeah.
Right? Like, hey.
Well, that's courteous of you,
get tested,
man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know where I got it from, but I know
Right, you
it was
coulda
a
just-
few
you
of
coulda-
us. And
you
I could have
coulda
kept it to
kept it
myself
quiet.
on some embarrassed or just being, I ain't that type of person, though. Like, I'd rather own up to it. Like, if I did get you sick, my bad. But I take full responsibility for that. But, yeah, luckily, like, I was the only one. So, I don't know if it happened after that or before that. Like, I don't even remember. I just know I went to a gas station, and that's the only thing I could pinpoint it to.
Yeah.
Like, next thing you know, I'm laid up for 3 weeks. But,
I mean, it happens, man. You know, it's any circumstance. You know, you touch a doorknob when you're not there. You could go the whole from this point now. You know, you could just be doing all the precautions. You could be vaccinated and everything. Man, you hit that wrong doorknob, whatever. It's over.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. This period, man, it made me a better person in the sense that I was always a clean person. Like I've never been the type of.
Me more.
I'm aware now. Like I don't care where I'm at. I'm washing my hands at least 2-3 times. I'm more cognizant about just wiping my nose or putting my hand on my face for no particular reason. Like a lot of stuff I used to do, I just don't do.
Yeah,
no
early on in that time, I'd always catch myself like,
Yeah.
just something to do, just playing in my face. Like whether I'm scratching, playing with my like, I could thank COVID for the beard.
True.
Like I was goatee gang before COVID. Now I'm full beard gang because of COVID. You know what I'm saying? So
Everybody had their beards and their long hair flowing
facts,
and
you know
whatnot.
what I'm saying?
it was looking rough.
Everybody was looking rough.
I was definitely rough. Like, definitely.
Yeah, but it was, again, as an artist perspective, man, it was super blessing to be able to hit the studio during the pandemic, man, because it's like outside of that, you know, you can do what you can do to the most of your abilities, but I mean, like, you know, so having the studio and then shout out ISO, we were working on a lot. Was one of our homies and stuff that works with Doc as well. We're just blessed to be hitting the studio, you know, and it kept us sane, you know. So it's like we'd be kind of similar to what y'all got going on, you know. I'd be cooking up the beats for my homie ISO. We'd be in the whip, cold as a mug, you know, like in January and stuff.
Right.
Because we didn't have like a spot to link up and cook up, you know, so it's whatever. And then, boom, hit up the studio, you know, and it's just like it really just made things help progress and move forward, you know. So shout out to Doc, shout out to all the engineers that kept us going, you know, because, man, without the studio, without being able to make music, you know.
Salute to y'all, man, because that's therapy for me. I ain't gonna lie. Not even in a I need to go type of way. It's just like when I'm there, it's just like it's an escape from everything else, from my 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you guys like working on a new project together, new single, new anything, or you guys like really just honing in on?
As of right now,
this
Hell's
project.
Angels and Heaven's Demons is what it is. I'm currently we both still working. You know what I'm saying? We about to get back to working on more music together. But
It'll be a continuous thing.
I got other projects I'm working on. He got other projects he working on because I want to release at least one more project before the year's out. Because when I came back, I had something to prove to myself, and I initially wanted to do 4 projects, but I'm like, that's kind of too much. Let's not overdo it. So I told myself, okay, like, do 3 projects, because, you know, I got kids, I got 2 boys, I got a whole 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying, family life, besides all the miscellaneous stuff that life throw at us. So it's kind of like, that's proven to me, like, okay, if you can knock out these 3 projects, no excuses, no complaining, just get it done. you saying something, and I'm saying this to myself. You know what I'm saying? You saying something. So I'm like, all right, I'm two in. You know what I'm saying? We released the Eternal Reflection April of 2021. Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons is out now. You know what I'm saying? Exclusively on Bandcamp. It'll be hitting streaming. I want to say
17.
Yeah, the 17th. So yeah, it'll be hitting streaming next week. So, and I got one more I'm looking at in December, but as of right now, Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons is what it is.
Absolutely.
Yes,
what would you guys say, I guess, more directed to you, like for all those responsibilities that you have outside of the music, you know, how does that, I don't know, with family more so, you know, like how do you balance all that as an artist?
It's hard to really even answer that because I'm a cerebral person, but I'm not real meticulous as far as planning, you know what I'm saying, and mapping things out. Like things kind of just end up the way they are, and it just so happens that they work for me. I'm very much so in my children's life, like, it's just, I don't know, like I feel like you make time for things that you want to do in life. That's the simplest way I could put it. When I came back, I told myself I was always serious about music, but I was in my own way, for lack of a better term. Like, I was always looking for an excuse on why I couldn't do stuff. Well, I'm not making enough money. I can't be in the studio as much as I want to, which means I can't put out enough music. I can't be as consistent as I want to. That's an excuse. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm making a little more money now than what I was back then. But like I said, if it's a will, it's a way. Like, I'm determined. I know I'm not built for corporate America. That's not something I want to do. Like, my job right now is cool, but it's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I want to give my children, I want to show them and give them things that I didn't have the opportunity to be, you know what I'm saying, put in front of when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? It's people in my life that I want to help. You know what I'm saying? I want to do things outside of music. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, this is my passion, but more than it being a passion, it's a springboard into whatever else is out there waiting on me.
Absolutely.
You know, so I mean, I just make it work. I can't really, recipe to it. I just make it work. You know, I make time for, you know what I'm saying, my kids is there. I'm there. They know whenever they need me, I'm right in the next room. Just holler at me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm writing and recording all the time. I am out more now so than what I was. Things is kind of trending in the right direction for me. So with performances and opportunities like this, appreciate y'all for having us again.
Of course.
I am out the crib more than normal, but at the same time, I think my children understand it to a certain extent, but their mother is a real, you know what I'm saying, she's real understanding. You know what I'm saying? She knew.
A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
She knew what it was when she first met me. You know what I'm saying? I was an artist then. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, she wouldn't dare stand in the way of what I'm trying to do because she understands. She doing her own thing right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if anything, she encourages me, you know what I'm saying, to go hard, or she'll let me know if I'm not doing enough or what I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't have any resistance. I don't have that person or that partner in my ear, like, you never around, like, you ain't home.
Why grown men just sitting in the studio all day? What's going on?
I don't have that.
Like,
I don't have that. Like, she know what it is with me. She know I'm not just at the studio just kicking it. Time is money. Like, this is my man's, but this is a business at the end of the day. So I don't get free studio time. So it's like, when I get in there, I like us to do what we came to do and get as much done as possible. And keep, while at the same time keeping the quality. So time is money. I don't have time to spend money on studio time and I'm only getting one joint done because I got a bunch of people in the lab and we kicking it.
And that's why I work. That's why I work fast too, man. Because I understand time is money. I'm not one of those guys that's going to drag out a session 5 hours for one. Like,
but it's not so fast to the point where he sacrifices the quality.
Absolutely.
Like, it's still quality. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Still. It's like, that's why I say, like, he like an artist too. His fingerprints is on it. It's like, I don't really care for my gig, but I'm not at the gig like doing anything because my fingerprints is on this. I was taught to, if you gonna put your hands on something, it's voluntary you doing it. Nobody is forcing you to get up and go to this job every day. So if you gonna go show up and work and do what's asked of you because you chose to be here, you choose to be here. So it's kind of like, it's an all hands on deck thing. And if I'm gonna put myself in that position to be involved with it, I'm gonna try to show up and put my best foot forward every time.
Yeah, absolutely. How would you guys say, like, now being at this point, you know, new project out, you're back in the heap of it, how do you guys see yourself moving forward? I guess sure generally through it all, but more so in like the Chicago scheme of it all. You know, like how are you going to elevate? How do you see yourselves collaboratively moving forward in the Chicago scene? Because obviously there's so much going on here, you know, and we're all trying to eat. You know, how do you guys continue? I don't know, just building the brand, building what you got going on.
It's a lot of us. Like Grindhouse is really a thing, and there's so many different pieces and parts to that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? It's producers. So it's kind of like
it can't just be one individual. It has to be a
Absolutely.
community effort
it's definitely a community.
to put a spotlight on us. I mean, it just can't be one. That's why I think Chicago has always had that issue, wanting to be the one, and just not coming as a full collective and having the spotlight even bigger than just one secular spotlight on this person at this specific time.
Absolutely. So how would you guys say? I guess obviously it's not going to.
It's a work. It's still a work. It's a work in progress, man. I mean, this city is very political on the street level and all type of things that keep those things from happening. So I mean, it's still a work in progress. Like I don't have that answer. To be honest with you.
I
It's
don't
gonna take
have
initiative.
a concrete, definite answer, but I know something that's working for me and others around me, my peers right now. Tapering back on that ego, and being willing.
Yeah, be a little selfless too.
Yeah, being
Think of
selfless.
the bigger picture.
Right, and being willing to collaborate, make the effort to collaborate. Because one problem that I had back before I quit, I thought I could do it all from the comfort of my bedroom.
Right.
I mean, the internet, I don't need to go nowhere.
It's going to take you so far.
Yeah, but I understand the genuity in establishing relationships now. It hit different when you show up to one of your peer shows and you buy a ticket, and it ain't just a DM conversation or you just talking back and forth in the comments. Oh, he really spent money to come out and support what I do. Oh, he really spent money on a project I just released. That establishes bonds and relationships. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like in the beginning, not to say I didn't care about nobody but myself. It was never that. It was just that I wasn't pressed to show I really care. I didn't want to go out. So, you know, my music was my music, and I support you from a distance. I like it, I retweet it, I comment, but I wasn't doing nothing more than that. Those gestures of support hit different.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Me understanding that now, being older and more mature, like I understand, like, and that's one of the things, like, this Grindhouse community, we buy each other music. We could probably easily call each other, hey, let me get a link, let me get a stream. Why? You know what I'm saying? If one of my guys,
gotta circulate the dollar.
if one of my guys or my homegirls open up a restaurant, I'm not showing up asking for a free entree. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a patronize the business. So we have a small community that's growing and that's expanding. It's some stuff in the works that I would love to talk about, but I'm gonna keep quiet for right now. It's putting a smile on my face just thinking about it, but we trending in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about being selfless, like he said, tapering that ego, you know what I'm saying, being willing to collab, being willing to put the work in, and being consistent. Consistency is so slept on, and you got to have that consistency and that determination within yourself to know, like, all that if stuff is done with me. I don't need if, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about when. And it's not something that I'm, like, training myself. No, I'm there. It's no more ifs. I can't remember the last time I said if this happened. No, when this happened, we gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I used to get down on my age a lot, like, oh man, I'm 35, 30, whatever. Don't nobody want to hear what hey man, talent gonna forever trump whatever limitations you putting on yourself.
But you gotta think I had this epiphany a little bit ago. Like, hip hop is only what, 40 years old?
About 45. It's almost 50 years old.
Okay,
like
so like this is like just 1-2 generate, like, so.
It's really a 1-2 generation.
They always said it was a young man's sport, but I mean, as older as hip hop gets, the demographic is gonna get older.
This is the first time we seeing adult contemporary hip hop.
You
with
can't
like
tell
444, Nas, King Disease, and
why
stuff
do you
like
think
that.
like Griselda blew up? Because those 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds that grew up on the locks and stuff, that don't have that anymore. They seen it, so they have that option now.
Right.
So they're coming back out. Like, they don't stop. You don't stop listening to rap music when you hit 35.
Right.
Like, you don't. All right, I gotta hang up my rap. Now I gotta listen to jazz now.
Right.
Why do you
Not
think like
that.
jazz people are like 70 years old going to jazz shows, still touring, and reaching new, like, you could see a 30-year-old, a 20-year-old at a jazz show, and a 70-year-old at a jazz show enjoying it. So I could see hip hop doing that in the next 30 years. it's not just geared towards the young. I mean, the young should have their spot, you know what I'm saying? But now there's a spot for the more like the grown up adult that's still
into it.
like loves this, you know what I mean? Like they're still being spoken to. They're not the forgotten you know what I mean? They're not the forgotten demographic anymore. So like I think that's where we could expand like our genre, you know what I mean? So
And I feel like that fan base is more solid and more dedicated than a younger fan base.
yeah, because we grew up on buying stuff.
Yeah,
we grew up
yeah.
spending $20 to get the CD, $50 to go to the concert, buying the stuff. Like we had no problem doing that.
The vinyl space blows my mind. Like my crew, you know what I'm saying, Filthy Records, like shout out to K, shout out Custom. They was telling me for the project I released before this, like, no, we gonna do vinyl. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm a vinyl artist.
There's a big space for that.
Yeah, like don't nobody know me. Who is gonna pay $35, $40 for a vinyl record of an artist they don't know? I didn't understand that some people just want vinyl. You know what I'm saying? They hear one song, like, oh, I'm gonna get it on vinyl just because I like. It's kind of like how we used to buy with CDs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I wasn't paying attention to that space, so I was unaware. Sure. And it's like we didn't sell out, but we did better numbers than what I thought we would do. So it's kind of like, okay, so like this is really a space that we can.
Like you growing up, did you ever have the option like, man, I got $20. Am I going to buy this album or this album, or did you just run to the internet?
It was, I mean,
buy them,
I bought it on iTunes. Like I didn't even buy CDs.
It was a little bit of both because I never really bought CDs like that, but the option was there, and like I didn't. It was to the point as a youngin', like I didn't have the access to obviously streaming and stuff, or even like the iTunes, because I didn't have the money for that, just to be honest. But yeah, if I did have the money, I would probably go to the CD. You feel me?
Because it's something you could have. You
Exactly.
can hold.
Right. Yeah.
It's something tangible. It's not going to get lost in binary code if something happens.
Yeah.
You don't
I still
have it
cherish
anymore.
my CDs. Just as you guys, you know, whatever, vinyls or CDs. Yeah. Because now, I mean, going in terms of like supporting like that, like buying, you know, you're saying the Grindhouse, the collective, y'all are like, and taking initiative to make sure, yo, I'm copping this project, this, you know, you supporting. I think our generation is trying to figure that out, you know, and the thing is, like,
I feel like for y'all, like music is like almost like it's just there, you know what I
it's
mean?
everywhere. It's
I mean,
everywhere.
It's not like
it's taken for granted.
Yeah, it's taken for granted. You know, I mean, it's free. It's there. It's entertainment. You're supposed to have it.
And people aren't gonna. I don't know exactly what it is, but people aren't gonna unless you have. And I feel like, at least what I'm around right now, we're just starting to really kind of build what you guys are already kind of more into and stuff. You know, the understanding aspect of that. Whereas now, especially, and I'm gonna let Dan talk about this too, but it's just like I feel like with streaming, it's taken away so much of that. So now it's like, not myself personally, but I like the average listener will be like, why am I gonna buy this album for $13, $14 or whatever when I can just
$10 a month
exactly stream all this stuff?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I understand. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna agree with G Money. I think I have older siblings, so they like I remember my sister having like shoe boxes full of CDs, and even my brother like had some CDs and like cassettes because he's a little older. And then there was the period, and then like I was more of the age where like I had a couple CDs, but then like it was iTunes. Like you bought everything on iTunes. You got an iTunes gift card. You're going to buy whatever album you want to buy.
Right.
But
And
you're
then
still buying the album.
yeah, you were still buying them because that was before like before like Spotify and streaming. And then when streaming came, like I think everyone stopped buying things.
Right.
And then now it's kind of reached that moment where everyone loves that nostalgic factor, which is why vinyls have come back into a certain level. And I'm collecting vinyls now instead of actual CDs, where I was never alive in a period where artists were releasing like vinyls as the main thing. Like that was my parents' generation. Like they had vinyls. We were more like CDs and all those. So it does make, and I definitely agree where like supporting your friends is better just to buy it than to stream it, because it probably takes like 100,000 streams to get to where the numbers are for purchasing the same track or
You're making cents
project
off of every stream,
right?
if that.
Fractions
of a cent.
Yeah, compared to like buying the project itself, where it can it can go money straight to the artist's pocket.
Right. Yeah, man. That's why, man. I have no problem, even though I have a small fan base right now that's expanding. I have no problem with spending however much time, as long as I don't got nothing immediate to do, like thinking or talking, chopping it up with the supporters. Like, because they put a battery in my back. They let me know like it's people out here that's in tune with what you're doing. Keep going. We here for it. And that's why I say like being a dope contemporary is kind of like that lane of supporters is more diehard than kind of like the commercial artists. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to see you at that level, but it's like they understand and they love what you do so much they gonna buy into it. And the type of artist I am, like I always wanted to be relatable. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why we still talk about Tupac, Biggie, and artists that passed on years ago, like quarters of centuries ago, and we still talking about them today because they was relatable. Like if you can be of the people will always keep you around some sort of way, even after you choose to bow out or after you gone or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of like all that work in my favor. Like Goddess Crew, shout out Goddess Crew. Like I've never met her a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like a homegirl from high school or something. You know what I'm saying? Like she really is supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I got it's countless others that's like getting on to the IAMGAWD bandwagon. Well, not bandwagon, but becoming aware of what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah. People want to see the progression too. Like it's always good to see somebody from the ground up.
Facts.
To the, you know what I mean? Instead of just
It's
coming
like
on.
you taking that journey with them.
Yeah, instead of just coming on when they're already well known, established. Like it's always good to see the progress in the artist, man. So
And
to talk about that streaming real quick for if there's any artists out there listening, like I mean, I ain't gonna say force them about the music, but the way I do my music, I put it out 2 weeks, Bandcamp, you know what I'm saying? It gives the incentive to buy. It's not readily available on streaming. Because I understand from an artist's perspective, you want to get your music in as many places as possible and you want it to be as easily accessible as possible. But this is entrepreneurship and this is taxing. If you don't have a budget or if you don't have the finances and you just making things happen, this is taxing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get some sort of return on your investment. So I would definitely encourage artists to go some type of route to where you're not making your music readily available for streaming. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that's the main way we digest and we receive music and we process it. But for those who use Apple Music, you can buy something from Bandcamp and import it into your iTunes. You know what I'm saying? And have it right along with the rest of the music.
That's dope.
So it's kind of like,
but that's asking too much of people.
I guess.
I gotta do all that work.
I guess, but it's like that weeds out the ones who just say they support from the ones that actually do support. I mean, I appreciate anybody who listening to my music. Don't get it twisted. But streaming my music, waiting until it hit Apple Music or Spotify, that's not really supporting me. Like in a year, you could listen to my full entire album every day for a year. That pay stub is gonna come back with like $1. If that, whatever the numbers are. And like I said, I appreciate you even listening to the music. Don't never take that for granted like it's just a money thing with me. It's not. But at the same time, if you really say you support, that's how you support. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons will be hitting streaming platforms September 17th. For right now, Bandcamp exclusive.
Absolutely, man. And I feel like with the whole building your supporters, you know, as when you're in the artist perspective, no matter what you're doing, it's again, it goes back to like initiative and like what you're giving. Like that's what I've noticed and realized. It's just like, and how much you give, and not just on the artist aspect of how much music you give, but how much of yourself you give.
Facts.
Whether it's through the music or it's slide into your homie or your peer, somebody that you don't know but you want to connect, or you connect with them and you want to whatever, you know. It's all about just getting to that mentality of like, F it, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna link up, I'm gonna put myself out here, having the courage and bravery, you know, to just get out here and do it, you know. And then it's like when you're out here and you're putting yourself out there, again, as you both know, people notice you. Facts. You know, and it all just comes down to that two-way street. And I think it comes down to like accountability for everybody, whoever's involved. And it's like, if you get to that certain mindset of, okay, I know that I'm taking the steps, and you're seeing that other people are taking the steps, that's when I think you can really get to that point where you can build that circle. Because you know yourself and the people around you are on the same page. Facts. You know,
a lot of people say they want to do things, but their actions show that they're totally okay with the way they are right now. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah, you can't fear the unknown, man. It's the unknown. You don't know what's gonna happen. But
you gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
That's
in
a security blanket for the unknown. Just believe. If you don't believe it wholeheartedly, why you doing it?
Or else you're gonna be going your whole life saying shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. And the entrepreneurial life is literally that, you know. And it's like, yeah, you can see all these Grant Cardones or whatever, you know, entrepreneurs that go up and do their Gary V's, whatever, you know. But it's like there's steps to that, and you got to build that. And it's at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we live in this new internet, social media world, and it was just refreshing to hear how y'all were kind of coming up. And it's just like the beauty of not having all these. Sure, these resources are great, you know, and they're helpful, but having to approach it a different way. Whereas now it's just like we have all this stuff which is around us, which is awesome. Right. It's awesome. Don't take it, you know, we don't take it for granted. But it's just like sometimes there's moments when, at least for myself, like I want to be on y'all vibe, you know, where it's just like I kind of want to tuck away and get it out, you know, just get it interpersonally, you know. And I encourage that so much to whoever, you know, because I think that's lost. People think, oh, I just have to get on social media and hit up Chance the Rapper and that's how I'm gonna get on, you know, or I gotta send beats to Kanye West and that's how I'm gonna get on, you know. Or, you know, you just find ways to get your foot in the door to be able to meet that person and build that.
You gotta show your worth.
Exactly.
You know, like people are what we is millennials. What's our generation?
Yeah, we're technically like millennial. We're like more like that. Early millennial.
So we right in the middle.
We get a bad rap. We usually get blamed for the Gen Z.
Right. I don't think we Gen Z. I think that was the generation before us.
No, Gen Z is after us.
After us? Okay, okay. Right. I'm
thinking millennials are the ones that grew up.
What's the baby boomers or something?
Yeah, boomers,
like
that's like
boomers,
70s.
Gen X.
Yeah, Gen X.
And then millennials. Yeah, I think you guys are like the beginning of the millennials. I think we're like the tail end of the millennials.
Yeah, it's like from 80, from like 80
to like 95.
To like 95.
Right.
Yeah, we're like
the end.
We just made it.
We're like early millennials.
So being millennials, I feel like we in a very privileged
I graduated
position.
in 2000.
And I graduated 04. Okay. So being millennials, we in a very privileged position because we get to see what things is going, and we young enough to still understand.
We're seeing it in real time.
Right, real time. Still young enough to understand it, not perfect it or perfected, master it, whatever. Become skilled in it and well versed in it, but we also know about the analog game and what came before this.
Absolutely.
So we, if anybody, know how to bridge those two together. I mean, we come from the analog era and we looking at this totally digital era, and we are should be privy enough to pick a little of each and put it together and find out the perfect combination of what works for us. Everything can't be accomplished in the digital side of things, and everything cannot be accomplished on the analog manual side of things. So you got to take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, merge it together, and I don't really see, again, you got to have that belief, I don't really see how you could lose.
Absolutely.
You might not get to where you thought where you want to go. You might not take it to the moon, but you gonna hit the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna be somewhere there. You know what I'm saying? There might be something else to get you to where you really want to go.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is a different type of. This era feel like a different type of Renaissance era.
We're a turning point. The millennials are a turning point in like human history almost. You know, like we're in a position that nobody has ever been in, and like you said, like we have the ultimate balance of perspectives, you know, and it's just like with the, like you said, like with the right putting your mind to it, like we can't fail if we put our, you know, and it's just, it's gonna come down to the collectiveness of it all, which it's like it's there, but it's still kind of lacking, especially in Chicago. You know, there's
that collective conscience.
Trust and believe when I say it's getting better. It's coming together.
For sure.
It's gonna be some examples that's finna get set, and it's gonna, I feel like, put a battery in people back and like, oh, okay, that's cool to do it that way. Okay, so like, but it's just I'm starting to see it. It's just, like I said, it's less ego, because I think people is really paying attention to the South and what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have an example right in front of you, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, take something from that. And they've been killing it for I don't know how long now, for more than 10 years. Like, the South been running rap for more than a decade now.
Yeah.
So they obviously doing something right. So why not look at what they doing and take from them and try to implement it here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we never really had too much of an industry here. We never had no big labels. I mean, it was maybe figures here and there.
Sure.
In Chicago, but we never had no building we could walk in, no record
central
label.
hub.
You always had to leave.
Yeah.
You always had to leave Chicago to make it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be a part of this wave of this era of Chicago music. You know what I'm saying? So can't wait to see what's coming next.
Absolutely.
This boy Brady got 3 touchdowns.
What's the score?
With the 21-19.
Oh, it's
Dallas.
a nail biter. A nail biter.
Good old barn burner.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. It's. Well, I mean, that's just the beauty of this show, and that's why we're just super blessed. Talking about God, you know, God gave us this opportunity to be here, and you know, we've been blessed to be able to bring out so much different talent of different generations, different areas outside of Chicago, whatever, you know, and very much appreciate both of you guys' perspective, you know, because a lot of our listeners are kind of around our age too, you know, and especially with some artists. So I know that this will be very enlightening, and I myself am feeling the connectivity of if we're the same, if we're millennials, yeah, but you know, it's still a different level to it.
Right.
So I'm very much appreciating this, and it gives me hope that, I mean, every time I work with Doc, I feel it, you know, but it's just like, I don't know, man, just the conversations alone are what are the root of it all, you know, and just knowing that we can all uplift each other, we can bring it's not going to happen overnight, you know, but just knowing that out here we have this connectivity, you know, even I didn't get to mention it before, your idea of the grindhouse and, you know, just bringing that together more. I mean, like, if we can start interconnecting the generations, however, you know, I mean, I got this camera to be able to, you know, shed light to everything as possible, you know, and I think, I don't know, man, the more people that, again, have the ability to take the initiative and see what we're talking about, and we're willing to, however it ends up being, you know, just through events, through collaboration on music, through eventual business, you know, it's only going to get bigger. So it's like, I think at this point now, like, as we're working on our own selves and trying to better our own selves, you know, at least think about and have these conversations so that once we continue to go, you know, we stay connected, we know we have these resources, whatever, who knows what can happen, man, you know?
That's where it starts. The piggyback off something you just said as far as bettering ourselves and working on ourselves, that's very important too. Because before I quit rapping the first time, I used to feel like, oh, well, my name ain't mentioned with so-and-so. I'm just as nice as he is. I'm just as nice as they is. Entitlement. And it's kind of like, bro, you ain't did enough. You know what I'm saying?
You always have to look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. Like, are you doing enough to actually be where you want to be right now?
Right. Are you actually doing enough to be where you want to be? And I just wasn't doing enough. So sometimes you might not be as ready as you think you are in a moment. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, speaking on the grindhouse and the community and the Chicago community, we not all coming to sit at this big round oak table and meet up once a month. You know what I'm saying? It's just about being the best versions of ourselves and each one teach one.
Absolutely.
That's the best way for a community to be a community and to thrive. You don't have to have a figurehead at the end of the table and delegate the plan and what role everyone plays. All you need to do is come to the table with something to offer, be the best version of yourself, and things are going to naturally flow. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about us getting together, meeting up once a month or once a week or something like that. We all play off each other because I'm not afraid to say, like, my peers inspire me. That, again, that's why I say I'm glad I came back into music at the time I did. And I'm not talking about my peers as in, like, Griselda, nobody, like, no, the people in Chicago, like, these artists inspire me. I was bumping my man Water on the way over here. Shout out Water. I ain't even mention him, but he definitely one of the ones who I'm tapped all the way in with. You know what I'm saying? Like, immaculate artists. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they inspire me to go even harder because if it was just me, it'd be boring. I probably wouldn't be able to put out dope music if it was just me because now I'm feeding off my own creative energy. I'm eating from myself. Like, they providing all this energy for me. I hear a Brittany Carter album. I hear a Fillmore Green project. I hear a Vic Spencer project. I hear Johnny Guns and Dosage and the Hosted and King 7 and Water. Like, I got all this good music coming out and I have access to it. And it hit different when I know that these are all my peers. You know what I'm saying? It hits totally different. So it's just about being the best version of self, continuing to evolve and grow in the right direction, and just at the end of the day, just spreading that love with each other. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be shoulder to shoulder all the time. But yeah, like
that's hip hop, you know.
Facts.
That's culture at the end of the day, and I think you're spot on. It's like that's the premise and basis of what hip hop was found on. Was at the end of the day, like everybody's popping out to the park or whatever and freestyling, b-boy, dancing, DJing, whatever, and then it's just like it's that element of knowledge that I feel like is like the real hip hoppers know what's up, but I think everybody else that's just trying to make music to make money, whatever, is forgetting the knowledge aspect of hip hop itself, and with knowledge comes the camaraderie, the understanding, and you're right. It's not just one person, and it's not just that situation of we're all here and this is how we're gonna live. It's you doing your thing, Doc's doing his thing, we doing our thing, whatever, and we all just building
which is the last joint y'all played. Hip hop would never die. Like I live the culture. I'm a student of the culture.
Yeah.
Like I'm not in this just to make money. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been a student of this forever. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we keep pushing it to the forefront, keep putting our best foot forward, we can't lose, man. We're gonna keep the culture in good condition. I'm a real big believer on leaving things in better condition than what was given to me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. I'm not interested in just milking something and moving on and not caring how it is once I move on from it. Like, nah, like, because hip hop was passed down to me in excellent condition. You know what I'm saying? Excellent, pristine condition. So I want to make sure I do my part to make it as excellent and pristine as it was when it was handed down to me. So, I mean, like I said, each one teach one, man, and we'll get there.
Absolutely, man. Well, I think this has been a great discussion, great conversation, a lot of enlightening points. I'm thinking we could play the final track off the project, and then we can come back and knock out that little freestyle, and then we can call it a night.
Let's get to it.
Excellent. So we will play the final track, and then we will be right back to y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
After these short messages.
You can still hear us.
Are you enjoying Northside Plugged? You want to give us 5-star rating?
Yeah. Finally got me over this drumless loop, man. I don't normally do this. Dots be like, before you get the 5s, you ain't go from here ever in your life. Look, I am God, manifested in human form. The flesh, blood, and bone is nothing more than a uniform. A unicorn, rappers leave them to the form. Though a hunch love me, but I'd rather make a cougar bust a maneuver form. Taking spit, but they super duper born. All I do is drop ish, need a pooper scooper form. Been a truth since I was born. You can't get a show cause the venue know that thing gon' recoup when you perform. I wrote this while walking the sun's surface. Only moving forward, I'm walking with one purpose. From a city where gang violence is through the roof. Youths knock your noodles loose, now your melon is unfurnished. Summertime, but the ends is cold-hearted. We see it and we want it, then up and we bogart it. The drama live forever, my nigga, so don't start it. Left his head and chest leaking, could see when his soul parted. Shorty was only 17 with a head of steam. When the weapon rings like a scene out in Medellin. But we don't represent no cartel. You either folks, HVL, King, or Allwell. Hoover, Ford, Walter Wheat, Mickey Cardwell. Shout out to the land, Leclerc, Courts, the All Gale. Pellies and buck 50s, pull over starter coats. A have-not, my classmates had all the jokes. Fast forward, I'm thugging, hanging with all the folks. Decades later, now salmon, hummus, and artichokes. Water about a gallon, fully stocked wine rack. Just go to show you where my mind at. Take advantage of the present, cause ain't no getting your time back. Holy Ghost flow, they worship it and enshrine that. You never hit me spit it if the rhyme whack. Right, hot-ish, that making niggas say rewind that. So you know, you went off with the sickest from the go. Think you got a slicker flow, this you must be. I represent spitters with lyrics, MCs with skill. All I do is build, murder MCs and chill, it's real. Twitter thugs keystroking, I keep quoting to show you that I'm better than any of these overrated underground rapping jigget I love. You wish you was up with me, but keep hoping. I gave to getting back-to-back classics. Biggest difference, all these other rappers lack passion. Mainstream and underground full of whack. Y'all call the niggas rap gods when they raps average. It's tragic, I'm nice, but I do the track savage. Melt the mic and burn the booth, leave the track ashes. Buddy, something like the greatest, I'm the rap cashes. Body after body, all I do is stack caskets. I am God, the eternal reflection. One of the best in this verbal profession. Rappers come and learn you a lesson. Put some respect on my name when you mention. And the sickest, some of them just this side of Lake Michigan. Flow possessed by the spirits of past legends. I'm Steph pulling up from half court in the last seconds. The homie said I'm like the Chi-Town Nas. Far as the bars, I'm one of Chi-Town's gods. Common sense, lyrical exercise.
Chicago never forget how to rap.
And we are back. Thank you for sticking tuned with us. That was I Am God.
Common Sense from Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons, entirely produced by the homie to my left, Dr. Mindbenda. Out now, Bandcamp exclusively, streaming platforms next week.
So now to conclude the show, we will have a special in-studio live performance of one of the tracks from Heaven's Angels, Hell's Demons.
Yes,
I
sir.
say, yo.
Yo, hey, if Doc over here spin, man, I don't even know what to say, man. That's the treat of the year. Christmas is today if Doc is spinning, bro.
Doc in the bag. You open up that bag.
That alone was unexpected.
I said.
That's more bars you'll ever get out of Doc, bro. All right, man. So this is Calligraphy.
That's actually the name of the beat, but this
okay.
is the joint On My Soul, the outro from the project.
All righty.
Yes, sir.
Over here.
Yeah. Let me get some more volume in the headphones. Yeah. Look, no disrespect to my peers, but anybody that tell you you're with me, you should ignore his words and question his ears. This ain't come overnight, I had to perfect it for years. But he pursued his aspirations and neglected his fears. I am God, when Yahweh wept, I ingested his tears. You riding, it shouldn't even be expected as quiz. Careers come to a screeching halt when I speak this egregious talk. I be deep in thought about how to freak this rap shit and leave a mark. This ain't just beats and rhymes, this is what you perceive as art. I will eat his heart. You think you King Kong, bitch, I'm Ethan Hawke. But 12, we duck shells, came from the bottom, but dreams is upscale. Just cause you see the next man winning don't mean you must fail. How in the hell you let a success threaten you? Susceptible to envy, you let that hatred get the best of you. Attractive next to professing you. Now let me got that little shoulder on your shoulder pressing you, huh? The jealousy sickening, my pedigree different. Any talk about who the nicest, look, I better be mentioned. The loyalty's gone, fidelity's missing. Felony missions gonna send you heavenly visions or directly to prison. It's either or. You ain't getting to it, fuck is you breathing for? I bring the raw, uncut, pure shit you been sitting for. Challenge me and take a profound loss. You sound soft. They say I got that East Coast flow. Fried hard, drowning in mild sauce. My 16's a hit like 6 wings. Lemon pepper on everything. The fries come with it. Add a blue mystic. I am product of LeClaire Courts, a Chicago breed of rare sorts. Was hungry with no food on my plate. Still out with bare forks. No clear course, just roadblocks. Me and my niggas soul rocks. But others cooked on stove tops. None of our families own stocks. No, the only thing we inherited was the struggle. No favors or handouts. You was merited off your hustle. Second-hand shopping with my self-esteem. Another helpless team just trying to get itself some green. The bitches either ignored or laughed at me. I felt the sting, but I dealt with things. Soon as I got some money, I felt supreme. Them summer jobs was clutch as hell. Been through too much to fail. You tuck your tail, I must prevail. Been more than a decade since I done touched the jail. Never say never, but I ain't trying to go back. I change a lot if I could just rewind time and go back. Know that. Never say never, but I ain't trying to go back. I change a lot if I could just rewind time and go back. Yeah, never say never, but I ain't trying to go back. I change a lot if I could just rewind time. Yeah. And Doc, yeah, you killed this, bro. Woo! On my soul. Yes, sir.
Hey,
Filthy Analects in the building. Grindhouse, man. We in here stumbled a little bit, but it is what it is.
No, that was
Yeah.
Chef's kiss, as Dan says. Absolutely.
Facts.
And he only had one slip. One slip. I was very impressed.
Yeah, you know, you gotta edit yourself and hit a little different, ladies and gentlemen, but it's all to the good. You gotta be able to do a little bit of everything.
That is tough. That is not easy, people.
No, not easy at all.
That was, from an artist perspective, I was very impressed. Very impressed. See, I'm not there yet. I'm the type of person I'm a big freestyler, so I train myself to like not remember my lyrics so I can go boom and freestyle. So when I see somebody do that live performance, I'm like, yo.
And I'm the complete opposite, bro. Like, I wish, like, it's crazy, man, because when I was a little younger, like, I was honing my freestyle capabilities, but that was around the time where I just stopped rapping. So I was like, I'm done with everything. Like, I need to really get into that because that's the one aspect I'm missing from this totality of being a complete MC. That's the one thing. I mean, I could do it.
Good exercise.
I could do it to like on some ABC 1 2 3, but I'm so in tune with every performance is always a first impression.
Absolutely.
It's like I always want to put my best foot forward. I'm not going to give you hickory dickory dock when I could give you this over here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, much love to all my freestylers out there, all the dudes that come off the top. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's an amazing.
Yeah, amazing gift. It's something amazing to watch. Like I love it. You know what I'm saying?
It comes with an obsession. You have to have an obsession to like want to even do it. You know, because at first, like anybody and everybody is trash at freestyling at first. You know. And it's from my perspective, it's like it's just how much time you put into it, you know. And it's just like whether you gotta just go on YouTube, grab beats, not just listen to them, you know, and just rap over and over and over. I'm talking about in your own time, you know. It's like you can link up with, you know, you can have sessions and ciphers and rap with the homies, whatever, on your own time. But at the end of the day, it's like when you're on your own stuff and you're just freestyle beat after beat after beat after beat. It could be hours sometimes, you know. That's really how you find success in it. That's what I found, you know, because it was like I look at it as basketball, man. You know, you can hit the court every once in a while and shoot, and eventually, you know, you can find your rhythm.
Right.
But if you're in the gym every single day,
and you got to take them reps, man.
Yep, it's repetition. Repetition is the key to mastering any and everything.
It's like muscle memory at that point.
It's repetition.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, man, I believe as an artist, you know, you hone your craft however you got to, and you put it out there. Bars are bars, you know, and it's like if the bars are raw, whether they're freestyle, whether they're written, they're delivered, and it's you know, like people gonna respect it, and it's true, you know. So that's what matters at the end of the day.
On my soul.
So yeah, man. I mean, I think we've had a great show, to say the least.
Yes, absolutely, phenomenal.
Appreciate you guys' perspective, shedding a different light, shedding your own light, obviously. Were there any other shout outs or promotions, put anything you want to put out in the air while you got the opportunity?
Oh, man, we're letting the work show, man. It's like the work
Absolutely.
show.
Hell's Angels. IAMGAWD and Dr. Mindbenda, Hell's Angels and Heaven's Demons is out on Bandcamp exclusively right now. Go to God's Gift, that's GAWDSGIFT.bandcamp.com. And you know what I'm saying, we got a number of things. We got vinyl, we got CD, we got vinyl CD combos, we got just the digital, the purchase, like, you know what I'm saying, if you say you support, show that support, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to the homie Water for the Streets and Scholars, Volume 3, out right now. Go get that, Bandcamp, you know what I'm saying, like, man, Chicago, we got something to say. Chicago never forgot how to rap.
Yeah, my boy AM just dropped the project too. Go check that out.
Facts.
Late night, early mornings, 3.
Right.
I think. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, late.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
With
3.
him and Nightwalker.
Yeah,
So,
shout out the boy, the homie AM, because I definitely ain't mentioned him, and he is one of the like hardest working, like, man, like AM. He another one of them ones. He definitely one of them ones. Yeah, he definitely one of them ones, man. So shout out AM early morning. Everybody, man, the whole squad, man. Chicago, we got something to say.
Absolutely, man. Represent. And as we tell everybody that's part of the show, I mean, Dog and I have been locked in for a minute, but now that he's on the show, both of you guys, you're part of the Northside Plugged family. So anything that we got going on, you feel me? You guys are in the loop or whatever. Slowly but surely, we're trying to do a lot of different things, you know, but trying to get events going, whatnot, a lot of networking opportunities, whatever, working with other people, yada yada. But yeah, man, we're all about promoting the community, putting people out here however we can, you know, and we're just working towards it. You know, at the end of the day,
man.
you know.
I appreciate y'all again. Appreciate y'all for having us here, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out
Of
Filthy, Alex,
Definitely, man.
everybody, man. Love, man.
Absolutely, no. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the culture. You know, appreciate hip hop just for allowing us to be able to do all this. You know, and I don't know, man. It's been nice to sit back and listen to y'all, man. And
That's love.
you have the perspective that, you know, a lot of our generation, music wise, you know, isn't quite there yet. You know, so super love, man. Super love. Appreciate y'all.
Everybody out there
y'all,
listening too, man. Everybody that tuned in tonight, love, man.
Absolutely, y'all check out Heaven's Angels. Oh no, Heaven's. I'm screwing it up.
Hell's Angels, Heaven's Demons.
I had it the whole show. I messed it up at the end. Check out the project. Appreciate y'all listening. Stay in tune with us at the end. Boston, I'll let you ride us out.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you to our guests. Thanks for coming in. Great conversation. That was awesome. over 2 hours. We were talking for a while. It was a great conversation. Thank you guys again for being yourselves and saying what you wanted to say. Always welcome back, as G said, Northside Plugged family. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, we'll be back next week. Make sure you check out them on Bandcamp before it goes out on the platform. As we were saying, show love. Show love the way that they used to show love back in the day. Buy that stuff. Don't stream it. Buy it, as they always did. Boss Nan, G Money, G Note, all of us here at Q4 Radio. Peace out. We love you guys.
Yep.
And hit up Doc for them studio sessions. Hit up the Grindhouse, man. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Come on. Who you recording with?
Yo, 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 yo.